Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another week of Taking High Ground Friday. We are THG. We talk everything Fortnite. We bridge the gap between the game and the cards. Can't wait to get into it today. It's a lot to talk about, a lot of new pickups for everybody as well. My name is Rob. What's up, bro? How you doing?
What's up? What's going on, everybody?
Nothing much.
Richard, what's going on?
What's up?
JL,
What's
Black
up?
Ash, Dill, um, everyone who's
Yeah.
in there. I see there's like 12 people. If you guys do not have an account yet with YouTube, is that's why you're not subscribed? Please create one and subscribe to us, guys, so you can
Yes.
comment and chat with us.
Would be
Um,
highly appreciated, y'all.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, so
So I think we have a lot on the agenda
yeah,
tonight. I
yeah,
think Rob went through and was talking to people in the community, trying to get some
yeah,
recent pickups. I
yeah.
think we're going to
So
try to figure out like what are people buying these days,
yeah,
with the
yeah.
market how it is.
Especially because it's definitely a buyer's market. You know what I mean? It's a buyer's market right now, which is great for all of us. But also on top of that, is interesting. No cards coming out. So what are you picking up? And I like this, because we have our specific tastes, right? So when you get to see the community and what else they're picking up and the different things that they get, it's kind of dope to see. So let's get into it.
Well, you real quick, you said that it's a buyer's market,
Yeah,
and it's weird because like the Fortnite comics is a buyer's market,
yeah,
right? And they're so low, they're like below retail.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you go to eBay, you can get like the comics like super super cheap. Now that's a buyer's market. Now we
Mm-hmm.
call Fortnite cards a buyer's market, but they're still like, I mean, it's not like they're going for pennies. You know what I mean? So we're about to put. I don't guess you got prices when you asked for this.
No, no.
No, but like some as a card is still a couple $100 for some like shards and stuff like that
Yeah,
that were in $20 boxes. So yes,
yeah,
it is a buyer's market compared to what they used to be. But it's funny how Fortnite's buyer's market is still priced
yeah.
people
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Especially, but that's a good point. And I'll add one thing to that. Series one and series two is definitely subjective when you talk about buyer's market when it comes to price. Series three, on the other hand, is definitely a
That's
buyer's
true.
market. That thing is, I mean, I got offered a bulk of PSA 9 crystal cracked ice slabs for series 3 for $14 a piece. I didn't take it, but just cuz I wasn't interested. Somebody reached out to me, but that's PSA 9s for $14 a pop. I don't even know which ones they were, but that's kind of crazy thinking of that, especially for
You didn't even know which ones they were.
no, I didn't. Because I just wasn't, I'm not really
Excuse me, guys.
I don't really buy like bulk cards. Now, I would have considered it earlier on, but not now. That's just something I don't do. But it's interesting that that was an offer that was put out there.
All right, well, go ahead and throw them
Yeah.
up. I'm interested to see. I haven't seen
No.
these yet,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. So Colton came in with the heat, man. Look at this PSA. I mean PSA. See, I'm so brainwashed. But this VGS
you're
9.
brainwashed.
Yeah, happily brainwashed. Look at this
Happily
VGS,
brainwashed.
this VGS 9 drift right here, man. This crystal shard is just it's top tier. But on top of that, Colton has been doing something very interesting. He reached out to Drew Hill to get autos from him, and then Drew Hill, I believe Colton can correct me if I'm wrong if he's in here. I think Drew Hill brought that calamity card on his own. Maybe Colton had sent it to him. I'm not sure how that happened, but he loved that card. If y'all don't know, Drew Hill is he
I think he
was a
sent it
Fort.
to him. I think I saw that
Yeah,
he said he
yeah.
sent it to him.
Yeah, he might have sent it to him. I just didn't want to, be
I
wrong, and that
think,
wasn't the
yeah.
case. Uh, but Drew Hill is probably one of the top tier artists, along with Brandon. I can't remember the Brandon's last name, but I'll put it up there eventually. But he worked with Epic for 8 years. He did tons of Fortnite skins, top tier skins, and I mean, Colton went above and beyond with this, so it's kind of dope to see. Dylan is about to pull this up real quick because I have to see the skins that he worked on.
Sorry, guys. I'm recovering, so I'm a little sick. So if I cough, I apologize. Um, so like you'll see, this is early concept art.
Yeah,
So you'll see some things that are a little different because this is before it was brought into the game.
yeah,
Some of these are like really really cool to see. I mean, you've got the thermal scope, you've got like regular art, you got the sprays
the
and,
sprays.
and skins you've never even seen before.
Yeah,
You got the
Raptor.
classics here. Yo, we never talked about this, but like, you know how we were talking about the weapon cards?
Yeah,
This would have been a dope one. Could
that
you
would
imagine like a
that
green cracked
yeah,
ice version of this?
yeah, that
That
would
would
be
be pretty
crazy.
cool. You got the silencer SMG. You just got some really cool art from him.
He
So
did
like,
all the
I'm not a
originals.
big like I'm not one of the guys who's like huge on autos, Like
Mm-hmm.
Randy's big on it. Lots of people in the group are big on it.
Mm-hmm.
Even in comic worlds, like I just want the art.
Yeah.
Uh, like I like the original art. So like I have the Peach Momoko Fortnite cover. I can't
Mm-hmm.
like God was more about the originals of it.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick like who I wanted to like get an auto from, it'd be Donald Mustard,
Mm-hmm.
probably Drew Hill, just because of the amount of work that he put in that has made
Yeah.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's like his visions for these characters and like he's done so much.
Yeah.
So I think Drew Hill is probably the second best auto for Fortnite in terms of like content. I'm not talking about like competitive, like excuse me, like Booga in them, but like in terms of like the game and the art and the story wise, I think Drew Hill is up there
Yeah.
for autos.
Yeah. For sure.
But
And
you
Colton
guys,
did send him the Colton did send him the card, by the way, y'all. So that was dope. Uh
I'll throw this in
Colton,
the
that was a
chat if
great
you guys
job.
want to browse.
Yeah. Bog, what's up? What's up? Yeah, Kyrie, those autos are crazy. So this was a great pickup right here. Rachel came in with the heat as well. If y'all can't see that, it's a Calamity USA Crystal Shard PSA 9, Crack Shot 8.5 Crystal Shard USA as well. A Dyer PSA 9 Crystal Shard. Then she has a Zadie Optichrome. She has a Zadie Optichrome and then a Tigress Optichrome and a hollow as well. That Zadie Optichrome is pretty crazy, especially in a PSA 10. Yeah, I know how I feel about the Optichromes. But then she doubled back out here. You know, she get the she get the Dyer, she got Skull Ranger, Skull Trooper, Lux, you know, and then Red Knight. That's I mean, honestly, that's a lot of my top right there. So that's pretty dope to see. Then she went crazy on the reloaded.
So she
Awesome.
ripped
Yeah,
those.
yeah,
So like I know
yeah.
these were like like we I think these what your pickups are, but I remember I saw her that she
Pickups and pulls.
yeah, so she ripped these, and so these are the ones that she's looking at. And I
Yeah.
see my Rocket Ride in there, Gold Trooper, Meow Skulls, Renegade Raider, of course. So I like the card she picked.
Yeah, Colton, I remember when you picked up that Zadie Optichrome as well too. That was dope that y'all did that. Wayne P, this is a different Wayne, y'all. By the way, you know, he comes in with the hollows, and then I mean, you got the Pillion, another Renegade Raider. You know, getting Renegade Raider and a 9 either way.
Reloaded is getting some
Uh,
love for
Reloaded is
sure.
getting love for sure, for sure. That's it's dope to see. This great. These are definitely great pickups. Famous with the Funko Pop. Uh Black Knight. Obviously, we don't know a lot about the toys. I definitely don't. But you don't have to
So
know too much to know that this is a dope pickup.
I don't know if I should blow up my spot. I'm not into toys too much. Like I said this before, like I like
Yeah.
print media. Um, but somebody did share something with me, and I didn't
Mm,
grab it. But it is a Fortnite Funko Pop,
mm-hmm.
limited to 10.
Mm-hmm.
So a very rare black. It's like the skin is all black.
Mm-hmm.
So they made like a full like spray painted black version with diamond eyes.
Mm.
And so I
That's
saw it,
dope.
and there's only 10 made, but it was Fortnite Funko Pop. So just so you guys know that kind of stuff is out there. I could show it if you guys are interested. Let me
Yeah,
know, and
that'd
I'll
be
share
dope.
where I found it. But go ahead.
Yo, so Flux came in with the heat. Yo, oh my
What?
god, yeah,
600?
yes, bro. Oh my god.
September 3rd?
Yo, straight still for 600.
It's sad
Bills.
that we think this is a steal, though, right?
Yeah,
Because like this
yeah,
is a $20 box, and
yeah.
we're in like inflation territory, and we're
Mhm.
still calling this I think it's a
Yep.
steal. I
Yeah,
still think it's a steal, but the fact that it is a steal is crazy.
yeah.
Congrats, though. That's a beautiful looking card.
Straight still, man. It's certain cards you don't see too often. You see, because we're a part of the community, we see people post their Skull Trooper to show off, like, you know, to show their pickups or show what they have in their collection. But you don't see too many people actually snag one in these probably the recent year, to be honest.
Um,
Oh man, Wade came in with so this one is crazy because Wade comes in with Durburger, Beef Boss, and Tomato Head. Um, I let a Tomato Head slip through my hands probably about a month ago. So this one is bittersweet, but these cards are beautiful, man. When uh when the collector sent us 2 mega boxes, I actually pulled the Durburger, so I got to sit with that for like 6 months, and that
to
card is
have both of
amazing.
these is kind of
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
So
What you got them
that's
in Italy or you said
me.
you have what you mean the skin? Or what you mean? You got the crystal shards?
No, I don't have them. I just said to have both of these.
Oh, to have. I thought you said I have both of them. Like
You
what you
like
been
since
doing,
when?
bro?
What are you holding out on?
I'm like,
No.
what you been doing?
But to have both of those is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah,
No, I like that. Before we go forward, they wanted to know about the They want to know about the Funko Pop. So I'll share it
yeah.
here to see what it looks like. I don't know much about Funko Pops, guys. So this is
Oh, that's
limited edition
crazy.
Funk
Valid.
House. Now, I wouldn't be showing you guys this until I bought it if it was any other skin. Like I do not rock with Valor, so I don't not my skin to be honest, but nevertheless, I was tempted because it's pretty cool. It says limited exclusive to 10 pieces.
Yeah.
Um, so keep your eye out for any other ones. Kind of blowing up my spot here, but I don't buy toys, so I'm guessing you can get all of these. I'm
Really? And
assuming.
yeah, that's interesting.
Could you imagine a a drift version of
Drift,
this?
drift. That would be fire.
So, I mean, that'd probably be the coolest one. Triceratops might be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And all black with diamond eyes. So that's pretty
Famous,
rare.
famous.
Only 10
We
made.
just went past yours. We got on this topic because of you, bro. How you doing? Yo, Shard in here. What's up, bro? Um, so this is a very good shot. It actually kind of looks like a tag slab without the top part.
I mean,
Clarity
it's pretty
wise.
clear, but I don't like that they have the PGS on that part right there, right
Yeah,
above the card. I think that's too close. I
yeah,
mean,
that,
I like the way PSA does it. Like
yeah,
I didn't even notice until we made Overshield. I didn't even notice the PSA logo at the bottom.
yeah,
Like so, if you guys know, it's like right here at the bottom is the PSA logo.
yeah,
I think that's much cleaner than they put it dead center on this one.
yeah. This is a dope card, by the way. The Ragnarok looks really good, and I think is this a Italy or is this a Brazil?
It's
Italy.
what does it
But
say
yeah,
on here?
yeah, Italy.
Kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, that it is. I mean, it's some cards I don't like in the Italy specific shard, but this one I really do. It's a couple that I like a lot, and this is one of them. Yo, so this one is crazy for one reason. So Marcus got a pristine 10 on Frozen Red Knight. Yeah, I won't be able to see it, but the surface got a 9.5. It was zero point 0.5 off of a black label. 0.5 off. So this would have, and it's an Italy card. So it was about to be the first black label. Screw the surface. I feel bad for him. Not feel bad because it's crazy that you have a pristine,
If
but you were
it's
so
that
close,
good,
bro.
I'm breaking and resending.
Hey, no, I'm not resending that. You got to just take the pristine. You got
Yeah,
to.
just take it. I mean,
Yeah. It is close where you want to do it, but I think you got to just take that. You got
that's
to take
true.
that.
That's probably true. I don't know how. Like with tag, right? It's a computer,
Yeah.
so I feel like if you break it and do it, you should get the same results. Now, if you send it to BGS, you might not. So maybe you don't
Right.
break it.
Yeah. Yeah. Risky business.
That is kind of risky business.
So my bad, bro. I put Michael S in my head is automatically Michael Scott. So just don't judge me. But but this Optichrome Hollow Elite Agent Optichrome looks amazing. I wish he was in series 2. Congrats on the Gem Mint because this card is
I wish it was
beautiful.
Series 1, man.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So Thomas has I specifically put this on here because it was a pickup. The corners are rounded. I'm assuming this is one of the Italy prototypes that popped up
It can't be
recently.
a prototype. The text is black.
That's true. Do you know what this is?
No idea.
Okay.
I
Maybe
think
somebody
maybe
maybe some
somebody cut the corners. You can cut corners like this. I
yeah,
used to
you
work in a
can.
print shop, so I
Yeah.
don't. I mean, it's
I
interesting.
Thomas, if you're in here, can you give context to this one? I probably should have asked you before, but I seen it too late. Uh
I doubt it was I doubt it was a prototype. But I mean, maybe they thought about going
yeah.
rounded. I don't know.
That was the first thing that came to my head because I never seen it around. I don't know what this is. I would love for Thomas to tell us.
It's Panini, so I don't think they're going to go rounded. Does Panini have any rounded cards? They would
Not the,
have to change their whole production and all that kind of stuff. So I highly doubt that that's an authentic prototype.
so what Dylan so never to cut corners. So what Dylan is pretty much saying is we definitely need context on this one. This is
But I mean,
I
hey,
will
interesting
yeah,
pickup,
yeah.
and the fact that it's a med kit.
Yeah. So Brian Johnson definitely came through with this one. You know, X is low key a interesting skin. I legit forget about that skin a lot of times, but it's a dope skin. Bigfoot. Then you have the Dynamo Dancer. Can't go wrong with the superheroes. And then he got a comic pickup. Shout out to the comics making the recents. Uh, I mean, he got the run. You know what I mean? He really did. I think that's
I don't see the right foundation comic there. You got to get the Donald Mustard version.
yeah. You definitely
You
do.
got to
On
get
the
that one.
25. You have to have that one. Like that's if you're gonna do the comics, you gotta grab one. Just in time.
Only
What's
the
up, bro?
only the moving cards, and that's a whole different type of production for those cards.
Right, because that's
The rest
not
of the
that's
set are not
yeah,
rounded. They're
yeah.
sharp corners. If you have rounded or reloaded cards, they're not going to grade a 10. The hardest thing to do for grading reloaded is getting the sharp corners.
Mm.
They're extremely hard. Oh, nice, Brian.
It's on
He
the way.
said
There you go.
it's on the way.
Perfect.
That's what I'm talking about.
Perfect.
Especially with him gone, man. You know, you
Yeah.
gotta get one of those.
So Jake came through. This
Hey, I
w-
like to see it.
so he said this is the first Dusk was the first card that he purchased that he purchased already graded. He
Hmm.
usually rips and then grade himself. That was the first card that he purchased already graded, which is crazy because he's been in the hobby for a while. So that's pretty respectable. I went ham on a few, yeah, for sure.
Well,
You got to.
don't take too many because once I get back into the game, I got to get some more. I don't have enough.
So
I'm a little
I
greedier in those though.
I don't want to butcher your name. I have to figure out exactly how to say this, especially because you're consistently in the chat and everything. But Valor, I believe these are Italy. Can you tell from this? Because they look a little
Um,
darker. I can't tell from
I
this
can never
picture.
tell between Italy and Brazil, to be honest.
I can only tell if they're next to each other. But
I'm gonna
like
guess it's Italy though,
Italy, all right, we're gonna go with
but
Italy.
that's just a guess.
I don't know the pickaxe name for the life of me, but I do know that that's Ace. So Ace is dope. But come on, Dill, that's still not help. Can you say that? I can't say
No, I'm gonna
it.
be a hard pass for me.
Yes.
Yo,
Yeah.
I can't even say my wife's name half the time, so
Yeah.
you
Dill, help.
I can barely read, guys.
Dill, can I
It's
get a
free education
little?
over
Can I
here.
get a little bit more? I need a little bit more. I need some more help for that one. I don't want to butcher
Yeah,
his name.
that's the gatekeeper. I'm pretty sure he's right.
Yeah. Thanks, Richard. Spam.
I don't think it's
Wait.
the spam jacker. I'm pretty sure it's the gatekeeper. It was the one that came with the the freaking never mind. I'm gonna mess that up. God, you know the giant. Is it a gorilla or a
Oh,
monkey?
Wukong.
Yeah,
Wukong. Wukong.
Wukong. I'm
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
sure
Yeah.
it came with that.
Yeah.
It was during that. I don't know if that's his pickaxe, but I think it came during that season.
So Mount
Ooh,
Rushmore, one of yo, Mount
come on,
Rushmore
Mount
went crazy.
Rushmore.
He
Come
went
on, dude.
crazy. And he's
That
low
red
key.
knight though. Look at the shards. All
Wait,
right.
but yeah, go ahead. You can
The
talk about that.
shards on US Series 1 shards just hit different.
They do,
Series 2
bro.
also do. But
Yeah,
Series 1 too, those it's just like I don't know
it's
what it
different.
is, man. It's
It's
different.
different.
It's different.
And I mean, I love that his recent pickups was the full run. Like, it's hard to kind of get a full run, a full parallel run
Yeah, that's true.
in a recent pickup. That's pretty crazy. Uh, you have
Thank you.
some
Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense. It was same
yeah.
season though, right, Richard? I'm pretty sure it's the same season as them. But I could be wrong.
Man, great pickups. Great
Yeah, that's
pickups.
great. And Cuddle Team Leader too. Cuddle
Yeah,
Team Leader
and Bright
Hollow
Bomber.
and the Bright Bomber. So some really good pickups. That's probably my favorite one so far,
Yeah, hands down, hands
personally.
down. We might have to start doing that too, picking our favorites. Okay, he got us again.
Bjornar. I don't know if that's right.
I'll
Your
try.
turn.
Yeah,
Your
okay,
turn.
okay.
We're gonna make this
B
whole show try and pronounce your name just because
B
we know that you support the show and we got to get
B
this right.
Bjornar.
We're
B
just gonna have to get him on the stream to say it
yeah,
himself. You know what I'm
Bjornar.
saying?
Bjornar.
I think he
Okay.
has a pretty big collection, so we're just gonna have to have him on, and he has to
Yeah, there you go.
say his whole
Yo,
thing.
so JK with the Heat as well. So for context on this one, JK had a PSA 8 of the Black Knight USA Hollow. He cracked and resub and it got a 9, so that's dope.
Dang,
But
I should have recracked. Remember, I had
yeah, you had an
mine,
8.
and it
Yep.
looked pristine, and that
Yeah.
joint got an 8. Ooh,
Yeah.
what can you do?
Oh, I said it right. Let's go. Come on. I'm happy
I
about
don't
that.
remember what you said.
Me
Say
either.
it again.
Dang. VNR. Vienna. I think that's it. All right, I'm gonna go with that. Now, watch you say no. You said it wrong. No. But then on his munitions, major, he did get a PSA 7. He said he thinks it had an indentation on the surface, which usually most sevens that usually ends up being the case. I had two that had that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, so I remember I had a hunting rifle that got a 10 and it had like an indentation.
yeah.
But I think they just missed it.
Yeah, that's usually what it is. Like that indentation on the surface or on
Would
the
that
back.
bring it? You think that'll bring it down all the way to a 7 if everything else is still perfect?
I'm not sure. All I'm gonna say is that I had like so you know how I told you like sometimes I'll do a trade and somebody would throw a card in. I had four cards that had that indentation, all of them
Hmm.
clean on the back, clean on the front, and they were all seven. So from my experience, it seems like that. I don't know how anybody else's
Like
experience
that
was.
takes a huge chunk off.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, which it kind of should, right?
yeah, for sure.
Um, but I mean, it kind of sucks, especially if you can barely see it. Six in
I
many
got you, dude.
cases. Wow.
Six in many cases not set.
You
Oh,
say just
that's
say
crazy.
oh as if you're kind of gagging.
Yeah, I
Way to
got you.
describe it. Yo, what's up,
I
your
guess.
boy? Yeah, Donald Mustard. I mean, that's a good transition,
Yes,
man. Because we
perfect transition.
perfect
There it is.
transition. So Donald Mustard is gone from Epic Games by the
Mm-hmm.
end of the month. I guess he says that's throughout September. I think.
Yeah,
So apparently
he's pretty
he's
much
a
gone.
his replacement has been announced, and the person has been with Epic Games since June. So this has been a rollout,
Yeah.
and so I don't know if him and Don Mustard are working together to try to like ease this in, to try to make sure that they're staying on point and they're guiding this so it's an easy transition. Um, Rob and I have been going back and forth a little
Yes,
bit.
yes, we have.
um, so I mean, I'm worried that
Mm-hmm. As you should
based
be.
on yeah, so I'm actually I'm worried and excited. I think this can happen two ways. I think that so the guy's name is Charlie Wynn.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I said that right. Um, and I'm going to show you guys his resume and his experience here. Um, so right now he is already labeled as chief creative officer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go through his um, extensive resume here, he mentions film a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I'll start with Riot Games. So if you guys don't know who Riot Games is, they're owned 100% by Tencent, who owns roughly 40% of Epic Games. So there's a connection there. Riot Games owns League of Legends, one of the largest, biggest IP for gaming out there. Um, so they had the successful Arcane show. Now, based off of reading this, it doesn't sound like he worked on it, but he did come in afterwards. So here he says he was a creative consultant for them after working for them, and it says that he provided guidance towards a more integrated and efficient approach toward prepping the League of Legends IP for film,
Mm-hmm.
specifically post Arcane. Um, so he has a lot of film experience. He also did what's the game God of War.
Yeah. God of
So
War.
he's the like pretty much the concept founder of that, right?
Yeah.
I believe like he's the one who came up with all that stuff. He worked in a lot of Marvel stuff, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, Dark World, Iron Man 3, so regular Thor, Ant Man, so lots of stuff there. So he has a lot of movie experience.
Yeah.
Only thing that so like if he does do it, I think we're in good hands. I think he has the capability to do that. What I was arguing
Mm-hmm.
with Rob
Yes.
is that I was looking at all this stuff and the way he mentions his skills. He
Mm-hmm.
mentions like creative strategy, creative direction a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and like he does it for almost all of them: concept development, creative strategy, creative direction, and then he'll mention film inside the description. He does that for almost all of them. Mentions film in the description and says creative strategy, creative direction. When you get to up here to Epic Games, he says drive creative, holistic vision for Epic Games. He says creative vision, and he says leadership, creative direction, art direction, team management. He doesn't say any of that stuff for any of the other things, and he focuses on art here and art direction, which is common for a chief creative officer. But it's less to me. It seems less about movie, film, and story, and more about art direction and that creative piece.
Yeah.
So that part has me worried that we may not get the kind of story that we're hoping for. But at the same
Hmm.
time, Rob thinks I'm wrong and that
Yeah.
they're leading him towards that, and he can
Yeah.
say his piece. But
Yeah.
it just that kind of scares me. I think he's the right person for it. I think he has a really impressive resume. He's done stuff with Arcane, which has a really similar game to story feel to it.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I'm just a little worried that Tim Sweeney, the CEO, is more focused on like art and like the creative side of like maps and whatever else they're doing
Hmm.
versus like building out the IP of a story.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's my rant. So
Yeah. Uh, I would. So for me, the way I see it personally, I think that it those those titles encompasses his job in the aspect of film. Film is like a no brainer, and that's the way I see it. But to go into it, to kind of give a spin on this a little bit, what I will say is what kind of worries me is even if he's coming in heavily on the film side, like let's say that's one of his three first things he does, right? Like on the building the story. Was he hired and can he take whatever Donald Mustard was going against? You get what I mean? Because Donald Mustard clearly was being um
we don't want to say clearly, but it
okay,
kind of seems
so
that
let
way.
me
We're,
let
we're
so
making
the
like
reason
we're making a lot of so all we can do is make a lot of like guesses, right?
well, yeah, so I'm gonna the opinion of half of THG Rob clearly. I'm gonna say clearly the reason why I say that is I've been watching a lot of content on this, and there's this storyline streamer called Clark Kent. I know it's Superman, but he spells it different. But anyway, and then he also was talking about how Ninja, when Ninja found out that Donald Mustard stepped down, he was talking about how he was the most passionate part. Like anytime you seen him, he was talking about the storyline. He was talking about this A, B, and C. And I think that level of passion, this is going to be a wild connection, y'all. So don't judge me on this. This is going to be a wild one. But it feels like the passion level was like the way Kanye gets passionate, and then then he gets that wall. Like he gets like, okay, we understand you want to do X, Y, and Z, but that may be too much. And if Donald Mustard was trying to pull a whole vision together and he was getting no's, and then he steps down, can win come in and do what they didn't want to do? Or is he gonna, to Dylan's point, is he gonna do something that's a little bit more yes man? And I'm not saying that he's a yes man, but it seems like there was something that there was a conflict that was happening, because if you see it, I truly believe he did not want Singularity and Paradigm to be two completely separate different people. I think that was the start of it, in my opinion. The way he talked about it on his Instagram and doing the comics, something happened in the midst of there. They wanted actual actors to come in, actors and actresses, but it seemed that like it was something in there where it was a complete disagreement. And if Win is going to come in, is it going to be to curate? Dylan thinks it's a possibility that it doesn't happen, where we disagree. I think it's 100% going to happen. Is it going to be good, and is it going to feel like Fortnite is kind of the
so
thing that I'm worried about?
I'll say so. I don't disagree with your points. I just what I was saying is I disagree with us knowing it. It's like we're all guessing here. It's just beliefs. Now I think I agree. I also said last week that I
Mhm.
think Donald Mustard is not getting along with Tim Sweeney's vision,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so like that's my whole point is that I think Donald Mustard wanted the story,
Hmm.
and he hasn't been given the leeway. I think that Donald Mustard has had to change the story to fit each season
Yep.
and change it that way, and then
Yep.
there's no ending.
Hmm.
So him being a comic guy and him wanting to tell these stories, I think
Yeah.
that got pewed so
Hmm.
that they can make money off the creative, off of all that. That's my whole take on it. And I
Yeah.
think bringing in somebody now it was a slow transition. Don Mustard handled it like beautifully, and they're handing it off to him. But because this guy isn't saying the story part isn't staying in the film, I think
Hmm.
this guy's on board with Tim Sweeney's vision, and
Hmm.
Donald Mustard wasn't.
Hmm.
That's how I feel. And I'm gonna throw this up on the screen because so I saw this, and this is pinned from 2021.
Hmm.
So I'll read this here and let y'all see what y'all think. Incompatible viewpoints and contradicting beliefs are the cognitive dissonance that fuel the creativity, myth making, and invention vital to humankind and our continued existence.
Hmm.
So, to me, incompatible viewpoints and contradictory beliefs, and then it's talking about that field of creativity and myth making. Obviously, to me, it seems like he's saying here that there's like they're butting heads. What do you think? Do you think that
Let me
I'm
read.
reaching here?
Let me see. I'm reading the last sentence. And our ability to conceive and believe in it. Imagine order is our ultimate evolution. Super. Um, knowing how Donna Mustard is, it could be kind of cushioned. You know what I mean? Like it could
Mhm.
be something there for sure. I wouldn't say it's reaching just because he's nuanced, man. He knows how to get his point out there without saying too much. But uh it might be closer to a reach, but it could be something to that. It definitely could. Uh
Yeah, I,
it's
I'm, I mean, after seeing this, it's hard. It's like I don't think it was going his way. And like I said, like you said, like with the whole
mhm,
paradigm and
yeah,
singularity thing, I think Tim Sweeney has a different vision, and he's like the marketing side is huge. We can make so much money. I'm a business guy. I'm a tech guy. We
mhm,
make so much money. And the creative side, Donald Mustard was like, but we can build out all of this story, all of these characters, and build the IP.
yeah. No, it's you're right on that because remember how we talked about before. I watched that interview that he did with I watched the interview that Tim Sweeney did with Cypher PK when Unreal Engine 5 was first being rolled out, and we came back on here and we talked about it. I was like, to me, watching that interview, I'm like, nobody's safe. Did I not say that? I was like, it seems as no department is safe. It seems that you have to prove yourself, and if you don't, you're gonna either be pushed to the back burner or something else is going to happen. And when I said that, I was actually talking about competitive. I was not talking about the storyline. But it does show that is Tim Sweeney, like you just said, is a tech guy, and they are very stout, and they are very firm in what their vision is. And Donald Mustard is a creative to his core. And another thing that you said that I wanted to touch on was how each season the story had to fit, the story had to fit that season. So in storytelling, something called, like I said last week, a curiosity loop. Donald Mustard felt that he could, it seems like he felt he could pull off a curiosity loop and close it each season. And then he
Or
didn't,
each chapter, like bring
or
it
each chapter,
throughout.
yes, or each
Yeah.
chapter. But something that happened that seemed to happen is that either he couldn't or somebody was stopping him from doing cutscenes. That's where I think it really changed because you can kind of tell the story, but if you don't get a cutscene, the proper cutscenes that transition from season to season, chapter to chapter, that really that really alters it. It seems like he got approved of one cutscene in the beginning, and maybe like you can kind of tell a little bit of story in a trailer, but you never like we used to get a cutscene in the beginning, in the end, and then you kind of rolled out from there. But it just seemed like that was just not the case anymore, and a lot was left on the table each season. But before we go on, what I will say is we're kind of talking on Donald Mustard's side. I want to play the devil's advocate as well. It's possible that the ideas were so wide that it couldn't be
No.
concise
See,
either.
I think it's
I
a money thing. It's
yeah,
literally a money thing.
yeah,
Okay. So when Marvel came out, Marvel
yeah,
was a huge hit. They probably made bank off Marvel. Okay, that's why it's always in the item shop.
yeah,
All right, now the anime skins are coming out. This is the first time. Like I don't know if you've noticed this, but if you play this, they just brought is a new season. They just brought anime back in again
yeah,
and
yeah. For the second round. Hmm.
superpowers back in again with no story whatsoever. It's just like they just whole new season. These superpowers were gone. They brought them back and added more. They've never done something like that. You know what I
Mm-mm.
mean? They somewhat added it. So guys, if you guys didn't play the game, when a new season happens, like a rift happens, and this season, like something got brought to the island for that season because
Hmm.
of the 0 point and all this kinds of stuff. Not this time. It's like they came up
Yep.
new season. You know what? Let's make some money. They came again, but different
Hmm.
characters from that universe. And
Yep.
so I think it's a money thing. And
Hmm.
like Tim Sweeney is trying to this like Epic Games is like 50% of Tencent. They
Hmm.
have shareholders. Not
Hmm.
fully. It's not fully IPO and stuff, but they do have shareholders, and
Hmm.
they make a lot of money, and they're pushing it. And Donald Mustard, who did a great job, chapter one, building all this out we barely had any like characters come in that weren't Fortnite. You know what I mean? They weren't like
Yeah.
Fortnite characters. And then since then, how many characters have been like other IPs for tier 100 in the battle pass? A lot, right? We've
Yeah,
got
it's
so
been
many.
yeah, it
And
might have been
so
two that wasn't. It might have been only 2 seasons that
isn't
wasn't.
that
Oh,
crazy?
yeah, yeah.
So I don't think it's Donald Mustard for us collectors who love the store and stuff like that. I'm on Donald Mustard's side. People keep saying, "Thank God Donald Mustard's gone." I
No,
think you guys are crazy. Not you, but the people on
no, yeah.
Twitter who are
Well,
saying all
yeah,
this stuff. I say y'all are crazy. It's not him. Like
yeah,
the way he thought through things, and if you look back onto his last like hint when he was like he used to drop hints on Twitter and stuff
yeah.
was in March,
Hmm.
right? And then June comes around. March, April, June, nothing. Just
Well,
retweets Fortnite.
see, and I think it might have, but the reason why I said I played the other side is because it might have been his own demise, and the reason why I say that is because he's the one that led for Marvel to come in and DC to
Yeah,
come in. Because well, and we know that for like that's not speculation. He told us that. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like that was his always his dream. And he wanted to do X, Y, and Z. And then to
It
your
worked.
point,
It
yep,
worked too
there
well.
you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
They
To
said,
your
"Oh
point,
crap, bring
yep,
IPs in like this brings
yep.
us hella money."
Yep. So it was kind of one of those things, and I'm pretty sure most of everybody's in a professional field here. We know what this was. This was your idea was big, it worked. Let's do that again, and then it's let's do that again, and it's like okay, we can keep doing this, but other things have to happen. We have our own characters, we have our own IP, we have these own our own vision,
Mhm.
and he was like, and they were like, no, you have your own vision. Let's keep this churning. That's what it seems like most times. But I do think there's well, there's definitely always two sides to a story. And I would say it was 80% Tim Sweeney maybe trying to go in a new direction, and 20% Donald might have chewed bit off more than he can chew. And if he came to Tim Sweeney or whoever it was as a creative only, that that usually doesn't go too well in the grand scheme of things.
Like I'll just go back to this tweet after we just said all that.
Yeah,
Incompatible viewpoints and contradicting beliefs.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, you can't say it much stronger than that. That's what I think it was.
Yeah, because even okay, let's go to something we've always said. If he was trying to build out Foundation to be the Batman and Superman, if he was trying to build out Midas to be, the Iron Man quote, that Phil, if he was building out these characters to be that next transition, what you said last week, on the direction that you wanted it to go, if that's what he was planning, he had all the pieces aligned. He just never had time to develop them. And like you were saying, when you close a season with nothing, I mean, look back at it. Y'all can look back if y'all wanted to. I remember when I got fed up. Dylan was still optimistic. I remember the day I was like, after that, when we played together, when we did that, what was that going into chapter 4? Was that going into chapter 4 or chapter 3?
Chapter 3. I know what you're
Maybe.
talking about.
Yeah,
So when I'll tell you when I got fed up because I know
yeah,
it clearly is when
yeah.
they put us into the space on
Yep,
that little
that's what it was.
island.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they put us there,
Yeah.
right, and we did nothing for 45 minutes. Like I know
Yeah.
you said like I had hope, but that was the first time cleared out. I said I've never been against Epic
Yeah.
Games. I've never
Yeah.
said anything bad about what they've done. This was freaking horrible.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it made no sense. They put us in here to do chores for 40 minutes and then it was over.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
And so that's not Donald Mustard. Donald Mustard
No,
would
no,
not have
no.
done that.
No, he wouldn't have done that. And
So
and I think, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's when I was fed up. What side that was, who knows? I agree with you. I don't think that was Donald Mustard. I just from what he's done, that
mhm.
doesn't seem like him, you know. But at the same time, and I mean, this is where I get confused because think of the spikes and the peaks that happen when the proper storyline rollout happens. Like it crosses all the Twitch platforms, it crosses every streamer. It be
Yeah,
it
but
is a
Tim Sweeney
major
doesn't
thing.
necessarily care about that as much as he does sales.
But that no, but what I mean is that's a part of the sales because those
I think
those
so
are
too. I
battle.
agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
it's so maybe to you to what you're saying, maybe it's a fraction of what is actually happening in the grand scheme of
Well, so
things.
I think
And
there's two
this,
things. So yes, there's the story, but the other thing that keeps Fortnite making money is the constant updates
Mm-hmm.
and the refreshes and stuff like that. And when, excuse me, when you're telling like a straight story, like to tying it all together,
Mm-hmm.
it might limit you some. Where if you get away from
Yeah.
that and you can update every week, bring in IPs, do this all this stuff all this time, it's a money making machine. And then
Mm-hmm.
how do you create a story when they're bringing all these people to the island and then they're creating cutscenes for like Attack on Titan because it sells? Like the
Yeah.
cutscenes for Attack on Titan. So let's say you're Donald Mustard, you're writing the story, and then Tim Sweeney comes in. And obviously, he doesn't do this, but someone
Right.
comes
Right.
in,
Right.
puts on his desk, is like, "Hey,
Hypothetical.
we have a
Yeah.
partnership with this anime, and we want to bring them in. We need a cutscene right here on the
Mm-hmm.
island." And he's like, "Well, shit, I just drew the
Mm-hmm.
7. I wanted them to come and do this. How can I say this and do this?" And you know what I mean? So you have all these things coming together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you're supposed to do that and tell the story
Well, and
unless both are on board.
see, yeah, I agree, and I think the only way that he could have done it, even though he probably would have caught something somewhere, right?
Hmm.
Some restriction. He he would have had to treat it like a series. He would have to treat it like a series and commit to that. Now, like you said, people can come in and out, but if he had enough, we don't know this. If he had enough creative control to, okay, if this is the new IP that you want in the battle pass, cool. But this skin has to be in there. If he could do that, he could have made it chronological. It would have been hard. And thinking about it, I couldn't imagine it being done. But that's the only way that it could have been done if he would have treated it as a series. And each season, you had at least one person that was a part of that puzzle. And I think Donald Mustard tried to find a way to go the direction that he's seen, which is the right way. And it just
I
didn't
think
work.
I think the last effort was
Yeah,
when I think what he did is say, "Hey, we want all these IPs in here." So he's
yeah,
like, "Okay, how can I do that?" Oh, Jonesy went and got the best hunters around the universe. That's how I'm gonna get all of them in
yeah,
there. But
yeah.
how many times can you do that,
Do that.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they film on there. And then I think, do you remember? So, a whole island, a whole chapter. So, if you guys don't know, there's 4 chapters so far. Every
Yep.
chapter is a whole new island.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the first one lasted 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Second one, a little over 2 years. When wasn't
No,
it?
second one was the shortest. That was like, yeah,
No,
but it
no,
had,
it couldn't have been the short because it had Midas. Midas was like four
well,
months itself.
Midas, that season was the longest season, but the rest of the
It was a
seasons
year
were
and a half.
shorter.
Let's say a year and a
Yeah,
half.
yeah, yeah. It was shorter in the
Anyway,
back end.
yeah, and then now we get to new freaking map every year.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole island has to get stored every single year,
Yeah.
and it has to fit. We have to do all these updates. How do you tell a story through that?
See, here's the, and I think this is where the ball is being dropped now. I don't know if this is what Donald Mustard wanted. I said this multiple times. The story should have been pulled from the battle pass. I don't care. I mean, from the battle pass, from the new season, new chapter. I've been said that you can have bits and pieces, but I know you probably remember when I said this. Us figuring out the story through finding things on the map when we're trying to win games is
Mm.
absolutely nuts. Like, that's nuts. I mean, don't get me wrong, for the younger generation, for the casual players, that's dope.
But
I
there's a
mean,
whole community that likes to do that. I
that's
don't
what I'm
touch it.
saying.
I don't
That's
touch
what I'm
that.
saying.
But
But I'm gonna say that's ridiculous. Not ridiculous. It does work and it does give story, but I think they love it because the story is being told. You get what
I
I mean?
think I
Is
kind of get what you're saying. Are you saying that they shouldn't bring the IPs into the battle pass?
I think they should bring the IPs in the battle pass, but I think they should. I think you can have. So, for instance, what I think Donald Mustard should have fought for is for a way to tell the story outside of the battle pass. The pass could have had connectors, or the new season could have had connectors, but he had to work with telling the story through multiple different ways through a season that just is, honestly, if I'm being honest, it's impossible to tell a proper story that way. You have to,
So we do have to remember
yeah,
what Donald Mustard said though, right?
yeah,
And it's that all these characters experience the island. The island is the main character. So like some people are gonna go and find the tape, other people's aren't. That's how
right,
they experience the island as it
yeah,
grows. Now, with that said, I think that the battle pass is actually a good way to tell the story. I would have liked it if only characters that were part of the Fortnite story made it to the battle pass.
right,
Like
right,
Optimus Prime,
yeah, yeah.
come on. Like where is that in the story really?
Listen, and to your point, I agree with you, and that's, but that's why I'm saying, like, it's like, if you if you think about it, okay, he he should have had an outlet as the creative, the head creative. He should have had an outlet to build the story in multiple different ways. Obviously, the comics was one of those ways, but we understand that that's easier said than done consistently,
Mhm.
right? Um, maybe he was even fighting for monthly issues. We don't know what he was fighting for, but it seems as though like okay, if I wanted to know the Easter eggs, I can find them in game. That's what that was, right? I can find them. I can collect this thing, and it can tell me the pieces, but the bulk of the story had to be told in that instance as well. And I think that's where, if I wanted to know whether, just given the idea, if I wanted to know whether the foundation could breathe in his suit or not, that's a perfect place to find it. But the bulk of the story should have been able to be told in a different way
That's true.
consistently. And
Like
I think that was a flaw.
AIM going to find Paradigm
Yeah,
in a whole
yeah,
nother dimension or whatever the heck it was,
yeah,
you had to go
yeah,
and find the tape in game to do that or
yes,
follow YouTube, you know?
yeah.
No, I
That
agree. Do you
man.
think that comics was Don Mustard, like, being frustrated? It's like, "Okay, let me do this. This will
Mhm.
sell. Let me do
Yep.
these comics and stuff like that, and, like, it'll be some profit." Do you think that was,
Mhm.
like, his creative juice to try to get the story out?
For sure.
And
I
then
think
maybe it hasn't
yeah.
worked.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think it was a level of frustration there, and clearly he's creative because he was able to pivot consistently. We can see that without he
Yeah.
was able to pivot consistently, like you just said, bringing all of okay, Jonesy is bringing all of these people into this world. Think of how hard that is to pull off going back. Like
That was a
that's
great
that's
that was a great one.
that was
And then
great.
he brought it
Yeah,
into the whole fight scene when Peely got
yeah,
blown up and stuff, they were all
yep,
shooting everywhere. I
yep.
mean, it worked perfectly, but how many times can you do that?
Hmm.
And then, this just made me think of something. So the new comic was supposed to come out this summer. June was
Hmm.
when Charlie Wynn
Came in.
came
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
right? So Don Messer was probably working on this in March because that's the
Hmm.
last time he did like a little sneak preview and stuff. Like he was like being hinting at things. Um,
Hmm.
then June, this guy comes in, and then
Yeah,
the comic gets delayed till January.
yeah.
Interesting. So I don't know. That's
Oh, he Jo. That's a good question, actually. I like that question. It feels like if the right person gets it in their hands, we might be able to have a social network type movie. That's one of my favorite movies of all time, by the way. The story of Facebook.
Oh,
That
so you're
probably
saying if this
yeah.
blows up to a point that we can get
Yeah.
the social network type movie
Yeah, yeah.
between Donald Mustard, the creative,
Sure.
and Tim Sweeney, the evil
Yeah,
genius
yeah.
developer?
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
think of how big the game is. You never know. I mean, I don't think the masses care to the level of Facebook, obviously, but you never know. It's interesting.
yeah, I agree with Westrom. Like, I'm pretty sure he signed an NDA.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Um,
is that's wrapped up. You could tell by the message that he put out there that that's kind of sealed and delivered.
I mean, the fact that he's retiring, guys, it really blows me that he's only been like Fortnite's only like 6 years old,
Hmm.
right? And it's a massive, right? Like he has so much creative juices he could put into this thing, so it has to be that disconnect that he's pushing away.
Yeah.
Um,
Y- You
mm,
now that I think about it, and don't quote me on this because I don't have exact things because it was just more so from watching it. His brother was starting to say more things about how the game was being not being ran, but like certain gameplay things and stuff like that. He
mhm,
would tweet on that a little bit more than he used to over the past year. I
mm.
mean, brothers have
Like
conversations.
brothers talk. It's like he's
Yeah,
getting
you never,
frustrated too.
yeah,
He's like,
yeah, you never
you know,
know. I mean, I can't imagine what that's like to have the level of following that his brother has, and then you got to kind
facts.
of keep quiet. That's crazy. Oh
Like
yeah.
actually, this is like when Chappelle walked away. It's
Hmm.
like, does he want to stay here collecting a huge paycheck, just
Hmm.
doing what like the business wants to do, or is he going
Yeah.
to step away and do his own creative thing?
Yeah.
I think that is the perfect sum up, Black Ash. Bro, if you guys don't know Dave Chappelle's story, look it up. They offered him like $50 million,
Yeah.
and like they did all this stuff to him, and he just turned it down because it wasn't for him. It wasn't
So
authentic.
so another thing, I'm gonna find the exact video so I can bring it back next week so we could talk about it. But I watched this video and it was I guess there's a new video game that's coming out that's using that not the 0 point, but it's using that perspective of the multiverse where they come from one, they have one reality and they come from different places. So Donald Mustard low key created a genre or a style that
Hmm.
is gonna definitely be. Let's be real. You'll be foolish not to attempt it if you're looking for a different angle because it makes so much
Was
sense.
there a
W-
multiverse movie out in 2017?
Maybe he got. Let's say this. Everybody gets inspiration from
I'm trying to think.
somewhere.
I can't
So I
remember.
don't know, but I mean,
I mean, I don't know the comics either. Maybe they were in comics and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
No one's done it as well as Fortnite.
right,
Like the origin story. I don't
yeah,
know. It's so let's talk about this.
yeah.
Does that change how bullish you are on Fortnite?
No, it changes how bullish I. Okay, yes and no. How about that? Yes, it changes um, future direction. No, for what has been done. So if I'm talking collecting side, it changes nothing. But for what we like to play the game and stuff, I am a little worried. I am. I'm not. I'm bullish still on the whole grand scheme of what Tim Sweeney does right. We love the storyline though. I'm not bullish on the storyline until I see when did this and it was great. Until I can
Hmm.
say that, I have to step back and be observant,
So
to that.
I will say that I think I'm still bullish on Fortnite as a whole. And the reason
Right.
I say that is because they have Unreal Engine, and we've been through this before, but I'm going to say it again. They have Unreal Engine. They can pretty much power the multiverse or the
Mhm.
what do you call it, the metaverse. They can power that, and then the game is still fun. Like I was playing the game before I paid attention to the story. I can play creative. I can do all this kind of stuff. I think they still got that in the bag. I think Fortnite's
Yeah.
going to do great and have fans and stuff. Um, Now I am a little worried on the collectible sides of like storyline and stuff like that. And of course, we should still be able to get a movie sometime. But now I'm less
See,
sure of it. Like before, when
yeah.
Don Mester was in charge, like I had 100% faith that it was gonna be well thought out. It was gonna be perfect. Now this guy has experience doing this, so if he does it,
That's
it'll
all I'm
be
about to
perfect.
say.
He
I
has
mean,
experience. I'm not
yeah,
saying
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but like now I don't know what's happening because over the last year, it's all fallen apart, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Don Mester had a very clear vision that I was on board with. So
Mm-hmm.
I, in terms of like collectibles coming out in the future, like comics and even cards that matter, if Donald Munster was the champion for that, pushing
Mm-hmm.
that, I'm
Mm-hmm.
less bullish on more stuff coming out, while still being bullish on the game itself.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, okay, so it was a twofold question. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So on the card side, I'm 100% I'm still bullish on. And it's because it's
and yeah,
cemented.
and I mean
Yeah,
like future stuff
future.
coming
Yeah,
out
yeah,
is what
yeah,
I'm not bullish on. I mean,
yeah.
like I said, like Rob and I have said before, the way that people collect is very different. And
Mm-hmm.
like I collect because I love the skins and stuff like that. I collect less story stuff to be honest
Yeah,
than I do
yeah.
besides the comics because I love the comics that came out. But
Mm-hmm.
like skins, like you guys know, I collect Aura, I collect Hush, I collect stuff that haven't been in the story yet. I think there's gonna be a lot of people doing that. And like Richard said, even if they're worthless, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be completing my
Oh yeah,
collection.
this is
So
I mean,
I think those are fine. But
I'm waiting for some cars to come down to my price. So yeah, we'll be here for a while for sure. And to that, I mean, my thing is this, right? The first of all, Donald Mustard's gonna end up being a visitor. I'm calling it. I've heard it's been some rumblings. Put it on my tab. I think Donald Mustard's
I
gonna end up
mean,
being the visitor.
but
And that would
I'll
be
go back to
amazing.
this tweet though.
Yeah.
It's like I hope you're right. And like he's been pushing this guy since June.
Hmm.
So it has to be somewhat, friendly. So maybe they do. Maybe that's like his last gift is like, hey, can you like whatever you do?
Yeah.
Maybe he told him like, hey, I want make me a character or something. So
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Because
Um,
maybe like like how offices have their inside jokes and stuff. Maybe it was something that Donald must have always act like he was visitor or something because it makes sense when you think of how the story kind of played in. He created that and it's almost like the like if you ever heard like Stan Lee tell his story, like the way he got the envision of Spider-Man and stuff, that's what visitor feels like to
yeah.
for Donald Mustard.
I would be dope for that. That
Yeah,
would be the most popular skin. I'd be going for a visitor card.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Should we do that just to hedge our bets?
Well,
Dr. Meatloaf.
I'm good on that front.
I know you are. He's like, how do you feel about them adding all the anime stuff all the time? Personally, I love anime shows and I like it. Um, the first time I was like, I don't like this was when they, like I said earlier in the show, I don't know if you were here, is they brought the same anime weapons and stuff back a whole new season later. That's a money grab. It's like, okay, bring it back in the item shop. That's cool. I don't care about that. Then you brought it back into the gameplay.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
so and they did that just so they could bring new skins in and with
Hmm.
new like mythic stuff, and that had nothing to do with story. It was just for the money to sell the skins. So that part does feel like a money grab to me, and actually now it pisses me off the more I talk about it.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah, I don't like I'm not a big fan of anime in totality like the way other people are. I'm
that's because
probably
I haven't
less
watched enough yet, guys.
I'm
Come
probably
on.
less than I'm probably less than 5% if I'm being honest. But I don't mind it. I mean the reason why I don't mind it is because I don't know how you are when it comes to this. I am very very chill when it comes to like expectations of skins because all I need is like one to hit a season. Like if I have one skin that I like a lot each
Hmm.
season, whether it's in the battle pass, whether it's in the item shop. Matter of fact, it doesn't even have to be. I have my skins that I wear, so I just kind of enjoy like I do really like the collaborations and stuff like that. Uh, but I think I'm so far into it that I'm just like kind of numb to what happens. And if it's something that I like, I'm like, all right, bet. But if it's
Yeah,
like the
I
anime
mean, I'm
and
the
stuff,
same
I just
way.
kind of ignore it. It's like
I
it
buy
is what it
lots of
is.
skins, and like I'm
Yeah,
waiting for a One Piece skin.
yeah,
Like I actually haven't bought like there hasn't been many IP that's come as like I'm a huge fan of that IP. Even the anime ones, like I've
mhm,
watched almost all the animes that have come out, and I was never
yeah,
like I liked them. The shows were decent, but like I haven't been like a huge fan. But I get it because if a One Piece one comes out, I'm buying it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I get it business wise.
yeah,
It's just when they get too greedy, and like I know people say this all the time, they're greedy, they bring all these skins in. It's like no, it's a business.
yeah.
But what they did this time, and they
Hmm.
brought the whole powers back into the game just to sell more. This is the
Did
first
you
time to me. It's like, dang, no,
did you
they're getting
did
really greedy.
Did you ever hear the interview Ludacris did when it came to Fast and Furious? They they asked him it's like this is for their last one that came out. They was like, why do y'all keep making them? He's like, what type of question is that? It makes money, like and he was like, who's not gonna do this when it makes money? And that's what it seems like.
Hmm.
And I mean, cash grab is kind of super buzzwordy, but it makes money. I guess that's kind of what
I
it
mean,
comes down
that's what
to.
it is. The
Yeah,
question
yeah.
is it going to hurt the game long term?
Um,
If they don't, in my opinion, if they do not capitalize on the characters' backstories and those characters being their own IP, they go from something that could have thousands of IPs within IPs to just one big IP.
yeah.
And I think that's a mistake, personally.
Because to play to your point from earlier, right? What is the biggest worry for me is they tell stories, but every character becomes shells of themselves. We can tell Donald Mustard had the backstory. We could tell that Donald Mustard had these things, but if they become if they become cameos to the big
Which,
grand scheme of Marvel or DC, that's scary. That's a scary thought,
I mean, that's pretty
because
much what they've become, though, right? It's
yeah, yeah, it's
like little glimpses into them, and then they just remake the same ones to sell more, and then it's not the same.
no, but matter of fact, let's just put it's properly in the middle. It's an hour. This is why we like the collectibles because it doesn't matter. That's
Yeah,
that's the beauty of it, especially the first three series plus Reloaded and the stickers and all the everything that you could think of. This is why we love the collectibles because unfortunately it never got marketing, so we controlled it. The hobby controlled it. The Facebook group, Instagram. When we do this on Fridays, we all control how people view our hobby. And whether Fortnite get on board with the cards or not, whatever happens, the cards that we did get is hedged by us. It's not hedged by
yeah,
anything else. But if we all stop collecting it, then it dies. But and even then, I'm pretty sure another wave will come through. Them cards aren't going to just sit there. It's so
yeah.
that's
I
the
mean,
that's the
Fortnite's still
thing.
freaking fun to play. I mean, I was looking at my hours in the game.
Yeah, yeah, and
It's not okay how many hours I put into this game.
well, the beautiful thing about it is, um, so remember how everybody was fighting for late game to come back. Booga's game that he created.
Hmm.
Everybody was fighting for late game. Let late game come back. Late game comes back and then it's taken out because Fortnite for some reason could not figure out how to keep it in there just because it was so massive, right? And it kept crashing. Booga's team is like, bet, y'all keep that. We're gonna restructure this, and now it's a part of Booga's IP now. It's no longer late game Fortnite. Now it's a part of his map
Now
creations. This is yeah.
I wonder if he was already getting stuff when it was in
Well,
game mode.
the from watching Cypher PK, what he said is anything. So Cypher PK had that
Yeah.
map when he had his anything that was a part of theirs, and I'm pretty sure obviously Fortnite got percentages of it. Now, like we always talk about this stuff, we talk about the copyrights and all. Is late game Booga's intellectual property? Who
What, didn't
knows?
they call it Booga's late game,
Yeah,
or was it just
but
late game?
no, when it first came out, it was Booga's late game, and then
Oh, he has to get some kind of royalties if they're
yeah,
using his
yeah,
name to market it. Yeah.
yeah, and now it's not even a thing. Those type of
Yeah.
LTMs and stuff, that's not even the case anymore. So now it's his and under
And
his
he's been
umbrella,
marketing it like crazy.
and he's been marketing it like crazy. So, that's the beautiful part about it. It's so many different ways that it can go, but I think us as collectors, we just watch what happens. It's kind of nice to see, and it doesn't affect us in any way, shape, or form. Unfortunately, right now, where it comes to the singularities, the visitors, the ice kings of the world, they're what we already had them as when it comes to what we like about them in the cards, but their story continuing or getting more in depth about it, that's in limbo right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's kind of sad. Oh yeah,
Yep.
I mean the cards. I mean they
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
we've compared the card market to
yeah,
all other card hobbies.
yeah.
They're just not known, guys. So
Hmm.
like, just give it some time. I mean, like we've said this before, the Cabbage Patch Kid cards, the garbage ones. I forget what they're
Yeah,
called. Garbage
yeah.
Patch Kids. Those get more search than Fortnite cards.
Okay, but that has history. Screw that. You're so
No,
right
but
on
that's
that.
what
Yeah, yeah,
that's what I'm saying though. It has
yeah.
history.
But
Fortnite is gonna have an
yeah,
amazing
yeah,
history.
yeah,
Fortnite's history is gonna outweigh that one by a mile. The reason why I'm choosing that one is because that's an easy one for us to beat because of how popular Fortnite is and how like over the last 5 years through COVID, like everyone
mm,
has memories for this. So
yeah,
that was based off of like a joke based off of what was popular at the time.
yeah.
Fortnite is gonna kick that out of the water. All we need is what you just said was history.
Hmm.
So I am not worried, and
Right.
that the it's almost like the same track record that stopped,
Hmm.
and then it got picked back up.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not worried about
And
that
it's
part.
to your point. The only reason why I said screw the garbage pail was because, like you said, that has history. So I was thinking you can say the name of it because I don't even know the name of it. I don't pay attention to it enough. What's that Disney set? What's the name of it?
Luca Lacarena, I don't know.
Whatever that is,
Macarena,
right?
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh man, it is above and beyond. People love it. It is major. It's crazy because the IP is strong and people understand. It's a no brainer for them. The thing is, people don't understand Fortnite in the big picture. They understand it in small scale. They understand that there's
Mhm.
dances that kids did 4 or 5 years ago. They understand that there's a banana. They understand that you are a cartoon character, but you're playing a combative game. They understand those things, but until there's an understanding to the masses, Fortnite's always going to be looked at in a certain way, which is okay for us.
Yeah.
We could care less.
I don't
Like,
think it will though. I don't think it's always gonna be like that's like a
no,
tough
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
We talked about this before that right now the way it's being looked at is not gonna pass. Richard, I mean you're young, so I'm gonna try to explain this to you here. It's not a bad comparison. I'm talking about where Garbage Patch Kids was and where Fortnite started. What do you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
They're not even comparable.
Hmm.
Like the how big Fortnite is since 2017 and what it's done to the masses, everybody knows Fortnite pretty much. People who don't play video games knew what
Hmm.
Fortnite was. That's how like crazy and viral it went. So it's a bad comparison in that Fortnite is leagues ahead.
Yeah.
So now I'm not talking about they have 38 years ahead of us. I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about in like 5, 10, 20 years. You
Hmm.
know, it's not gonna be comparable. The only one I stayed away from was Pokemon because replicating Pokemon
Yeah.
is like it could. I'm not saying Fortnite can't, but like that would be a hard comparison.
Uh-huh.
You'd have to have a crystal
And
ball.
and it would be, see, the thing that they did that was different from Fortnite is that it was a rollout. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It
it
was a
was so
strategic,
well thought
yeah,
out. It's
yeah, it was
like,
a strategic rollout. And not only that, they didn't stop scaling outside of it.
mhm.
And our scale is different because it's more digital, so that's, to your point, that's where it becomes confusing to a lot of people, because a lot of it became physical for Pokemon, and you can see it. You know what I mean?
So
It
you
was
can
more.
experience the show, you
Yep.
can experience the Game Boy,
Yep.
or you can experience the cards as a card game, and
Yep.
that's what I feel like Don Mustard was going
Hmm.
towards comics, going towards all this stuff, going towards
Yeah.
movies, and then now they're pulling it back, it feels
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
which
And
sucks.
it's that's the thing. Like, to your point, it's the avenues. Cards made too much sense to me. Obviously, we're all here, so
Yeah.
it made too much sense to everybody, right? So it makes too much sense. But the thing
To
is
sports collectors.
to sports collectors, to anybody that collected before. That,
Maybe less than to like TCG
yes,
players,
yep,
but
yep,
because they're like, but you can't play it.
yeah,
But to anyone who's collected sports cards, anyone who's collected non-playable cards,
yeah.
it makes so much sense.
And then another great thing was, I can't remember what I was watching, but someone was giving a perspective, and the father was saying, "Are you seriously watching somebody play a game?"
I
Right?
remember that.
Yeah, I don't know who said this, but then it was like, he
As
was
he
like,
then goes sits on the couch to
"Sit
watch
couch
someone
and watch
else
someone
play a
play
game.
football." Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's so I
the comedy.
to our point is, people don't people don't understand yet, and that's a small scale of what it is, because if you go in the depths of it, of, oh, Booga is a skilled athlete, that's subjective in how people
Hmm.
confine athlete the word, but that's why I put skill in front of it, right? So if you have the skill, the Boogas, the clicks of the worlds, the Kanadas, the skill gap, people that play the game know the skill gap difference is major. It's literally just like professional sports. You can go at any basketball court, and you can drop 30 points. You step on that
Yep.
NBA court, you won't exist. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with the competitive side of Fortnite. And when people understand that more, and how good these kids and adults are, because Booga is an adult now, it's going to be very interesting.
So
It-
Brian Richard, I'm not saying Pail Kids wasn't the shit. I'm just saying that Fortnite made a bigger impact than they did in the 80s. That's all I'm
Mhm.
saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't massive Fortnite. Yeah, it was not as massive Fortnite. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I get it. And it's lasted that long. And that's
Mhm.
my kind of example. That's why it's a good example. Both
Mhm.
did great. I just said Fortnite is more massive and it can
Yeah.
appeal to a broader audience than just people who like um parodies that are kind of graphic and stuff like that. Like I've looked into it, I've looked at
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. And so
Mhm.
like that's kind of a niche market, the people who are going to want to be able to do that. Where
Yeah.
Fortnite has expanded into so many different areas
Mhm.
and has such a big base of people that
Yeah.
it's hard to compare to. Like
Yeah.
Fortnite is
And to your point, Fortnite didn't stand a chance to technically blow up card wise, like what people consider blow up, right? The fact that, to what you said earlier, the fact that
mhm,
cards are selling for $300, a mega box is at $1,000, and then
yeah.
you have series two that most of the cards don't even sell for $150. That mega box is sitting around that price, so to that point, it's still, but for it to blow up, it was impossible because of the stigma that's on the whole grand scheme of the IP. You know what I mean? People just weren't going to accept that Pilly sold for 7,500, that Pilly sold for 10K. They weren't going to accept that because it's a banana, but they don't understand that it's a very mature game, and I don't think people really understand how mature it is. Most of the things that come out is is I don't want to not say kid friendly, but the way I'll say it is, if they were to search where those emotes come from, where those things come from, it's not kid friendly. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's it's if they were to explore where the reference came from, it's not as
Like,
kid
so
friendly as
what
people
he's
think,
saying,
you
like
know.
history repeats itself, guys.
Yeah,
So like
yeah,
the mentality is of Fortnite is it's for kids,
yeah.
right? Just like it was for Pokemon, just like it was for all these other things. When in fact, the player base is much bigger than that. It's not
Hmm.
kids and stuff like that. Brian, you said Magic is still going. It's not a profit thing. I'm pretty sure Magic is making a lot of profit, like a lot of profit.
Hmm.
And let me look it up
I would,
here.
yeah,
Magic revenue is up 40% for 2022. So they made $1.3 billion. It's owned by the investor called Hasbro Reveal. So it's owned by Hasbro, and they're making
Hasbro.
about $1 billion. That's why they put out those packs for it's so expensive. They're making money. Like it's
Yeah,
not just for fun.
yeah. He said 1 billion.
Yeah, in 2022, $1.325 billion. That's what it says
Yep.
on here.
This Fort, this is Phantom. This is exactly what me and Dylan's been saying since day one. This that's the whole that's what won me over with the whole
The
thing
people
of
who play
Fortnite.
with you,
Yeah,
yeah,
like it's because it's
like
the
the
reversal.
difference it connects
Yes.
them.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. It's the reversal. It's something that
Oh, he said
we've
my
rarely
bad.
seen. No, you good.
No, he said that before. I said when Billy he said he typed in a
Oh yeah.
billion and then it
Got you,
came
got
out.
you, got you. That's
Yeah,
funny.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's good. It was, but it's crazy because you think about people like Wayne, like when Wayne tells his story, right? Is it's not so much Wayne was sitting down playing Fortnite because Wayne wanted to play Fortnite. He seen
Mhm.
Silas do it. And then when he seen him do it, he's like, wait, if this ever comes out with cards, I'm on it. And as soon as they came out with cards, that's what happened. And it wasn't just him, it was multiple people, you know. And then there's people like us that actually played the game as an adult, and we seen what happened with everything else. We're like, it's a no-brainer, you know. So if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. That's kind of the way I like to say it. And that's kind of what it is.
I remember playing Magic back in the day. I like Magic. I haven't played in years, um, but I remember playing. I like how Magic does it. I get it. They make. I would say that Magic the Gathering and Pokemon are so set up to make profit because they've got people playing it and buying packs to get the cards to do it versus just buying to collect, right?
Yeah.
So
And
I'd say it's like even more profitable to be honest.
there's backing behind that specific team, you know, of
Yeah,
those it's backing by. And I was specifically talking on Pokemon side because I don't know too much about
yeah,
Magic the
not
Gathering.
not
So
investment advice.
yeah. So but
Thanks, Black Ash.
yeah, yeah. So you know, like the Pokemon side is they're consistently backed on multiple different angles, and it's constant. Fortnite cards never got that chance, you know, and so that's a big part of it. Yeah,
And that card actually sold
it,
for 2 million, I believe, wasn't it? Or was it one
yeah,
million?
two
Post Malone's bought
something
it.
like that.
I
Yeah,
thought it was like 2 million that he bought it for, but maybe it was a million.
it was
Um,
something. It was in between there somewhere.
Yeah, and like I think sports cards and like Fortnite cards with how rare they are, they're more like acceptable for us as collectors, right? Because
Hmm.
we have that chase. Where like Magic the Gathering cards, usually they don't do that. Like this is like one of the first times they've done a one of one. I think it
Yeah,
is the first time Magic's done a one of one. Besides Secret Lair, where they've done some numbered 100s. Um,
yeah,
so for like us collectors, we like to chase the rare. With TCGs, is a little different. They like to chase rare cards too, but there's printed in so much that's
yeah,
playable.
yeah,
And I know a little bit like Black Ash and them know a lot about this stuff, but like and
yeah,
like they got the tournament ones or the rare ones, you've got the stuff that you can't get anymore.
yeah.
So but
But
for us, we like the rarity, you know.
man, it's so many missed opportunities, bro, when it came to the cards. Like you just sparked the thought in my head again when you said that, because you know you have the FNCS, you know, you could have trophy cards, you could have all of these things. You could have, it was so much that you could have done. And I even think about, like, okay, you want to kind of build your community, you want people to stay, you want people to build their businesses inside of Fortnite. Put those gamers in the cards. And I don't mean them as in the person, but you could do things like clicks gets 10, like out of 10. I'm not talking number, hard number. It's just a hypothetical. Clicks get an out of 10 spark plug, right? There's ways of doing it. And it was clicks combination. We get all of that in the item shop. I just don't understand why the cards just never really, not even never. We know why, but I don't understand why it didn't make sense to somebody. I didn't have to make sense to them to
Yeah.
somebody. You know what I mean? And maybe it did, and we don't know.
But
But
here's the
it,
interesting thing is that so Fortnite came out in 2017.
yeah,
They had cards by 2019.
2019, which means it was in production for at least 6 months, at
But
least.
that's insane to me that they moved
Yeah.
that fast,
Mm-hmm.
right? As they're building the game and gaining popularity, they moved that fast.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
versus where
I,
they are now, I mean, I think that's kind of crazy. I've never really thought about it too
so
much, but the fact that
that's a
they
good
did
point.
that is strange. It's like they
Yeah.
had to have a bigger vision,
Yeah.
or at least Don
Or
Webster did.
two things. They had to have a bigger vision or they had no vision at all. And it just made sense into the to maybe Panini. We don't what we don't know is maybe Panini did the original approach and it just made sense to try. Do you think it was more of that, or do you think it was how do you think that played out? The Panini for Epic Games collaboration or relationship, I should say.
I think it could happen two ways. I think that companies like Panini are always looking for new products to
Mm-hmm.
expand. They have
Yep.
the sports and they're moving out. Fortnite blows up
Mm-hmm.
and they've already tried entertainment cards. They do that, right? They go after
Yeah.
those kinds of things like Star Wars and stuff like that. It was the talk of the town in 2018. So they
Yep.
probably reached out to Epic Games and to like try to get a contracting deal. I don't know. That's my guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
I doubt that someone's like, we need to do trading cards when they're so focused on this kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
bet you they came and they probably saw it as like another revenue stream and said, sure, why not?
For sure. Nick, congratulations on that, bro. That's
Is that
crazy.
Italy? You said Euro each. So I mean, is that Italy series two?
Dang. Dang.
Oh, that's series two. So
Series
two
one.
9.5 series one cracked ice. You said
Woo.
cracked ice is for 20 years. Is that, can we please, is that it?
Okay,
Even if that is Italy, that's a
that
steal.
still is that's a still, yeah. Yeah. That's a still for sure.
For a
It was
9.5 Italy shard,
Flapjacky and Growler too. We gotta know if that's USA or Italy for sure.
Flapjacky was the first. Was it one of the first cracked? How many cracked ice? What did I get for a flap? That was the first something I got. Was it my first hollow?
Warfighter, what's up?
It's Italy. Still a good deal. I mean, that's
That's
like
still a good
grading
deal. Yeah.
prices, man. That's crazy.
Let me see. Where is
And
what
Warfare,
did
it could have been. Warfare is saying is the prototype's the downfall, but I mean, I think it has to be bigger. I don't think so. I don't think they're paying that much attention, to be
yeah.
honest.
I
I
just
doubt
think
Epic Games sniffed like, oh, these cards got out. Why'd all these cards get out? I don't think they give a shit, to be honest.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I think it's something much deeper.
yeah.
Like, why wouldn't they let them advertise? Why wouldn't
It
they let them do all this other stuff? Why won't they let them put game codes in, but they did for the comics? There's something else going on there.
hold on.
Although I heard that Fanatics was saying that Panini wasn't acting in good faith for their business. They were lying about their revenues and all that kind of stuff when they were trying to like do the sale and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So it doesn't sound like Panini was operating that well business wise.
yeah.
So maybe that had to do with it. I doubt it was about the prototypes, to be honest.
I just sent something to to the Instagram.
I
Check.
got you.
Wayne said that PSA said he could share this. So it just because it went into that conversation. So I wanted to send that one. Um so pretty much what this is, I guess Wayne uh was trying to figure out if he could get the prototypes graded at with Panini, but Panini kind of confirmed exactly what we kind of thought it was the whole time, but it's crazy that it was confirmed from this. So that's just another confirmation on the USA prototype side, but
So
it's crazy.
this
Yeah,
confirms now.
yeah,
Now I will say, like, so we trust Wayne. We've been talking with Wayne for a long time. For
yeah,
all the skeptics in the room, I'm sure they're seeing this. Like anybody could write this.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You know what I mean? But to me, I mean, this makes sense. So
Like Dylan is saying,
I get what you
take
guys
it
being
for
skeptical, but like
yeah,
this, I'm not trying to convince anybody to go after prototypes, guys. It's not investment advice, as we always say. But if anybody wanted to know, that kind of makes
yeah,
sense, kind of what we were thinking.
yeah.
Um, I don't see how it'd be anything else.
And it's actually to add to that, it was also I want to share something else and I forgot about it till now. This, where is it at? All right, I sent that one. Check it. This was so a similar thing happened with Pokemon cards. Almost it didn't go to it.
Let me try this. Yeah, they did this time. Real quick, let me answer this question.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they're not saying, yeah, so they know they're authentic. PSA just doesn't grade the prototypes. They never have. They don't. It's not something they grade. They grade
yeah,
error stuff that's
yeah,
confirmed error that got released. If it
yeah.
wasn't officially released on purpose, they don't.
Right.
Right. So that's what that is. Um, as far as I can tell, guys.
Yeah,
Not that I have a huge prototype collection or anything like that. I have a hunting rifle prototype.
yeah. I
I
have Max.
sold the
I have
rest and stuff like that. So
I have Maximilian.
I'm not pumping
Black
it,
Ash
guys.
still has it though.
I still think they're pretty damn cool, man. But I'm not
Yeah.
pumping them.
Yo, Richard. Yes, Richard has an interview with
That'll be
Shardock.
no, wait. Before we say this, that'll be $325 to make it out to us.
Yeah.
Just kidding,
There you go.
Richard. So
Yeah.
9 p.m. You said 9. Is that 9:05 in the morning, Richard? 9 p.m. I'm
Yeah.
assuming 9:05 p.m.
It's both.
Eastern
It's both. It's both.
is both on Tuesday, which the legendary Shard Knock.
Yeah.
Tuesday. What am I doing Tuesday? I'm
Push
gonna
up.
try to tune in for sure, so I can see you guys go live. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
If you in me put your YouTube in the chat for us. Which, if you're watching this later, you won't be able to just search Richard Parrott on
Yeah.
YouTube. But for the people in the chat, I'm gonna post it here if you guys want to go and subscribe to our man Richard, who has supported us since like day one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So shout out to him. He's already done 83 videos. He's freaking killing it on his
He's
YouTube,
going through
guys.
it. Yes.
So go give him
It's my
some
boy.
love.
Nah, this was
I don't know, Nick. I don't know. No cap. Send it to
shoot.
me and I'll look at it. Just mail it over. I'll just take a look.
Is it still at what was it, 77 or 80? Was it at which one was it at?
Since you know who's not in the chat, let's talk Renegade Raider. Let me see. Oops. Renegade. What's going
What
on
the
with
heck?
this?
He said it's clean.
When 10.
What
Just kidding.
what did
We're at
let's see.
82 cards.
So what
So
was that,
one
like
got a
3 or 4
plus.
more? What was it, 3 or 4 more since we last looked?
Yeah, it was in the 70s last I looked.
That Nick, when did you what level did you send it at? Grading level. The boy Nick. That was so he think he has a 10. I would be interested because somebody's gonna do it. I don't know who it's gonna be, but somebody's gonna do it.
We've talked about this. I'm going to get the next 10. I'm the only person who can grade a 10. I
Yeah.
graded that one. I'm going to grade the next one.
No, that's a fact, dude. That's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, having on your 10 10s at 81 would be like at 8%. And I was like, come on now. Maybe, roughly.
Dude. Yo.
I
Let a young man dream.
No. I need to get the next 10. I've been waiting on some reloaded boxes. I know how to do this. I've done this before. And I'm waiting on my specific boxes to come, and I haven't got an update on my tracking in a while. So if someone tins there before me, I'm gonna be pissed. And I was talking to Rob. It's like my collection is going in tag from now on. I don't even care about the haters, but my Renegade Raider, just so that can be on this pop report as the only person who's graded Renegade Raider as 10. I'm gonna have to send that. I have to get that 10 again. So until then, PSA is getting my Renegade Raiders. Sure.
Man.
Now I'm pretty sure I have a 10. My SGC 9.5.
Yeah.
I think that'll take. I'm not cracking it open. That ain't worth it.
You might,
Uh,
yeah, because if
I'm
you,
not cracking it. That joint is sweet. My ghoul is still here. All right, what I didn't do? I didn't show you guys my pickups.
yeah,
So besides my ghoul,
some of my cards just got graded, but they're getting sent back.
so
They should be here set
I'm
tomorrow,
waiting.
actually.
I'm waiting on my wild card.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the wild card off of eBay. I
Mm-hmm.
won that. I'm super
Look good.
excited. Got wild
What do you
card
think?
back in my collection again.
Oh, you didn't get the card though. Like you didn't get the card in
It
hand
hasn't
yet.
come yet.
I was about to ask what did it
So
look like?
whoever you are, I bought it from you, and then like I didn't pay that night.
Yeah.
I waited like a day, and then I paid. And he's messaged me. He's like, "Hey, can you pay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna pay tomorrow." I pay tomorrow. 2 days go by, he didn't ship. I almost messaged him. Was like, "Hey, can you ship it?" So I'm just joking with you in here. Don't give me a bad review. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna be sending this into tag.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sending this into tag.
Mm-hmm.
This one into tag. I know you guys are gonna hate me. I'm sending this one into tag. It's gonna be so beautiful. Sending this that I just picked up is going to tag. Don't hate. And I'll send this one into tag too for right now. Those are all USA. So and then I have this, but I'm not gonna let me look at this one. I'm not sending that one yet.
I did pretty good on my last submission. My jump shot, Maximilian, and Bandolette all got nines, so that worked. That was really good. I was happy about that.
I wonder if I have
That's
any
what.
notes.
And then my
So
singularity is at PSA right now.
the other thing, I'm gonna open this up. We got 19 people in here. So you guys know my story with Kuno, right? So for fun, I'm thinking I'm gonna crack these and send them to tag. How many?
Well,
I don't have. This
can
isn't even all
okay?
of them.
Can you do one thing though?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can you please send those labels back?
To
Because
PSA,
yeah, so it can
FPSA. I don't care about
so it
PSA and
can
the pop report.
so it can
What you
read
got?
what?
Maybe we'll see. So I have all these. If you don't know the story, these all came back nines. I sent in every single Kuno that was ever made in cracked ice to PSA, and they all came back nines.
Damn.
So I'm thinking about cracking these and sending them to tag just to see if PSA is accurate. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Am I
Yeah, you're
insane?"
insane. Yes, he
It would
is,
be
Vic.
it would
Yes.
be like it'd be like a good science project, right? It's like how close is PSA to the AI grading? Please God, no, 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 no.
I read just
All
like
right.
Michael Scott.
It'd be kind of expensive to do all that, so I have so many nines here
the
though.
the pop report, if you crack those, the pop report is gonna be dismantled just off of that alone.
PSA does grade World Cup tickets. When I did it wrong. Apparently, Dill knows how to do it. We did it at the National, and it worked the way they
Yep.
did it.
Yep.
So you can do it.
Yeah, I know somebody else that sent the ticket in and they got it sent back just like yours because they actually sent it in. It's
Yeah, I'm
definitely a
not.
better
I
impression.
don't recommend sending it in. I think Dill says he knows how to do it, but I recommend doing it at what do you call it? At an event.
Richard.
And the decrease the value. I was more of doing. It's not about being worth it. It's more about seeing what the accurate and what I want in my collection. You know what I mean? First of all, like I tried selling some of these. A lot of people don't want to buy these at like even like $50. So you guys saying decrease value, that's not going to decrease.
I don't know. Kuno sells pretty well. I know a couple
I
people
I
that
I
can, you
I've
know,
tried. They
listen.
people didn't want to buy them. Um,
Well,
it's a long term. It's a fire skin.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. The commemorative tickets definitely just started being accepted. Probably like a year too early. Originally. Yeah, y'all remember when Dylan sent that ticket and it came back? He was not happy.
y'all about to see a whole bunch of these Kunos in this. I'm gonna make you guys so mad. No, 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 I'm not selling them, Black Ash. I told you they couldn't sell, but that's right. Black Ash tried to buy them a couple of times. I said no. Black Ash has my
Yeah,
whole collection. I told him it's like if
yeah,
I ever want to see my cards, I just gotta go to Black Ash's house,
yeah.
open up
It's
his
like
vault. You know,
it's like a museum.
I know.
Yo,
Yeah, that's true. Nines aren't selling right now,
no,
which I
they're
get.
not.
Which like you get tens at it. semi like reachable price.
Oh,
Why are
that
you going for
yeah.
nines?
That
Um,
I asked I was gonna wait till next week because I did it at a specific time, but we could talk about it now and maybe let it. But I did the community tab and I asked which one is more undervalued, right?
mhm.
I did series one Gem Mint Hollows, series two Gem Mint Optichromes. Matter of fact, just go to it so you can see it on screen. That'll probably be better. Go to the community
Okay.
tab. That'll be
Yes,
easier.
sir. Right away, sir. Let's see.
Hurry up.
I don't even know how to do this. The community tab. Am I part of this community? Let me see here. Oh, here we go. All right. What's more undervalued right now? Series one Gem Mint Hollows. Series two Gem Mint Optichrome. Series one Italy Print Crystal Shards. Series one Mint US Crystal Shards. Series one Brazil Gem Mint Crystal Shards. I feel like a lot of people would say the Brazil.
Yeah.
Be like cap.
What would you say?
I would say ignore the side. I mean, I don't really collect the hollows,
Hmm.
but how I remember pulling the hollows, they're
That's the
so
hard part.
freaking hard to pull,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I mean they look great. So, um, but then again, Gem Mint Series Two Optichrome are
That's
going. So let me put it this way: I think Series One hollows are better than Series Two Optichrome.
hmm
But if you talk about which one's undervalued, it's between those two. I think it's the Optichrome because
yeah.
you can get them for like $5.
hmm
You can get them like super cheap. So you want to talk about undervalued? That's undervalued. You know what I mean? You can probably pick up more Optichromes. Like you can probably pick up like 10 Optichromes for one hollow Series One. So
Yeah.
like that one hollow would have to 10x what those other ones do altogether. So I don't see
Yep.
that. So I think Optichrome beats that. But then you got
Yeah.
the Italy Crystal Shards. No, I'm gonna go with Series Two Optichromes.
Yeah. It was hard. If I had one more that I could have did, they don't let you. I probably would have did series two mega boxes in general. Um, I don't know, but I don't know if that's undervalued or properly priced. What do you feel for series two?
For which one? Series
What
Two? What?
like series two mega boxes? Do you feel the series two mega boxes are properly priced right now
I think
or
they're properly
undervalued?
priced.
Properly
100,
priced?
$125, $150. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
can pull an aura,
hmm
and then the rest are in like the 100 to 200 range.
Yep.
Besides some that people are like being sticky with, like,
Yeah.
so I think they're accurately priced
Yeah.
because they're not like selling.
Yeah.
But I love them. If they dip below 100, and that's a fire sale, I think,
Yeah.
honestly.
These are all the ones that I just sometimes I can't wrap my mind around what they're priced at right now. Like obviously we're collectors, but I'm talking about like availability and what people are letting some of them go for. Like
Hmm.
I don't know if the person sold it or not yet, but it was a PSA 9 fish stick for like 160 and nobody bid at it at all. And it's a series 1 USA hollow. I'm like that's crazy to me because first of all, maybe we're jaded. Maybe we're jaded by opening those NOI packs and opening the
Hmm.
it maybe I don't have a clear vision of it because of those experiences. But a PSA 9 or a PSA 10 BGS, whatever the case is, Gem Mint in general, Mint in general, it's like, yo, I'm like, it's kind of crazy that even a PSA 10 for some series one hollows are selling for the prices that they are. Uh I mean, and some people think they're overvalued, but I don't see it that way. I think they're at a great price right now. I think it's a buyer's market for sure.
I will say,
Hmm.
all right, let's take the undervalued out of it.
Yeah,
All right, what should you be buying? This is not investment advice, but like
right,
Rob, what should you be buying
right,
right now?
right.
Not you
Okay.
guys. I'm not talking to you guys, but
Yeah.
what should you be buying right now? With let's say you have limited funds, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Everyone has limited funds at some point, right?
Yep.
So yes, those may be undervalued, but shards is so much rarer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you might not get them ever again.
Hmm.
Not because they're going to be too expensive, because they're not ever going to pop up.
Yeah.
Like there's
So,
some cards that for whatever price that they would sell for, I would buy them,
yep.
but they don't come up. But the
Yeah.
hollow probably does.
Yeah. That's a good question because for me, if I was truthfully starting over, and I guess I had a little bit of knowledge, community knowledge, and things like that, I would definitely play it super slow. Um, I would be PSA 10 hollows, but not I'm saying PSA because I like PSA. Any gem mint hollow that is. But
Yo.
Yeah,
This is so crazy, guys. All right, I don't know if you guys know, but like people collect base cards and other hobbies.
yeah, yeah.
Like I'm
No,
not
that's a good point. Yeah,
like come
that's a
on,
good point.
we gotta talk about where we're here. We're like, man, should I really grab the hollow? We're talking
Yeah,
about hollows that are rarer than
yeah,
like prism hollows.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, think
That's a good
about
point.
that. It's like, should
Yeah,
we buy these?
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of funny because like
It,
I just saw like JL said like Kuno foil for $5.
it's insane. It's
I
insane.
mean, when you
It's
put it like that, it's like what are we talking about here? Are we talking about practice? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's like what are we
yeah.
talking about here?
That's a really good point because there's certain like even a Fortnite Series 3 card being at $5 already. There's cards that's come and I won't say does because collectors collect. But what I
Hmm.
mean is does in the view of value or obtainability. There's cards that's dirt cheap. And the reason why we're talking about this is because don't let your judgment get clouded because you've been collecting for so long. Some of these cards are great opportunities, and I'm talking about low end as well. Like you said, Optichromes for Series
So
2 at $5, $10. That's
yeah.
insane. That's
So
insane.
here's what I would say. The whole market is undervalued based on its potential.
Yes.
That's all, the whole market, regardless of all these cards. So you can almost all right. If it gets to the popularity that we're thinking it's going to
Mhm.
get to, it doesn't matter what you're buying.
Yep.
Whether you're buying 20 hollows or one or two shards,
Yep.
if this actually hits any kind of popularity, you've won because it's
Mhm.
that rare. Like Black Ash is saying about how Pokemon secret rares and stuff. Like there's like so many of those that
Yeah.
pop up, and they still go for like $100 some. Some go for even more. So like it
Uh,
doesn't really this whole undervalued thing. Buy what you like,
yep.
collect what you like. Whether it's
Yep.
Italy, whether it's Brazil, blah blah. The market's kind of dictating the price. I don't
Mhm.
see anything that's that crazy. Like Brazil's
That's
are pretty cheap.
yep.
Italy's are pretty cheap.
Where is that
USA
at?
shards are the most expensive, the hardest to find. So I think
Yeah.
that all accurately kind of depicted. So it's just kind of like what budget do you have every month? Like
Yes.
what do you want to
Yeah.
buy? If you
Yeah.
want to get $100 a month to spend on cards, maybe you want to stack up 25 hollows. I'm not mad
Listen.
at that.
That's that's a great point because I'm gonna tie that to Richard. Richard did his live on I think it was 2 weeks ago now, but he purchased his most expensive car yet, and it was like I believe Richard, don't quote me, I can't remember what Jetfire sold for, but it was like 250, 260 or something like that, right?
Mhm.
And prior to that, what Richard was doing, it was very slow and methodical for where he entered the hobby,
Yeah.
because that you've been in since the beginning. I came in a little later on from that inception point, and where we where compared to where Richard started off, a whole lot of different things happened since then. I mean, there was I think it was a frostbite sold for like 760 raw. Red Knight PSA 10 selling for 11,000. These are prices that happened. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And now it's a it's a way that you can move into your grail wisely, not investment advice. But grails are available more than they ever were before. And
Mhm.
I'm not talking about every card because it depends on
Well,
what your
let's
grail
talk
is.
about that real quick. It's like they
Yeah,
are because I sold like Rob knows this.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
sold my grails a couple times.
yeah.
And like so I've like wild card's one of my favorite because I like to play poker.
Yep,
It's one of the first cards I pulled. I've sold two or three of those shards already, and then
yep,
I bought it back again.
yep.
I'm not gonna be able to do that much longer. Like this one is getting
Mhm.
graded in tag. So I tell you this, guys. Like I'm not trying to get you guys to buy tag. The reason why I told Rob this, the reason why I'm happy to grade in tag is
Yeah.
because you guys won't buy it. Because I
Mhm.
have this thing where it's like if I need cash, it's like all right, I have picked good cards.
They're gonna buy it,
So
but they're gonna crack it.
yeah, well, okay, but I'm not gonna try to sell it because in my mind, I'm like, no one's gonna buy this. It's on the
Yeah,
tag
yeah,
slab. You know what I mean? Right? So it
yeah,
won't be worth selling. So that I'm gonna try to
mhm,
trick myself into doing that. But at
yeah.
the same time, like these grails are gonna not be able to pop up much longer.
Mhm.
So that's what's crazy.
And that's a good point because for me, it was like one of those situations where it's like, okay, I have to kind of keep restructuring how I'm collecting because you kind of go through the ebbs and flows, and it's like, okay, I obtained 3 out of my top 5 cars that I've wanted from the beginning. Now it's like, you're kind of looking at it again, restructuring what you going for next. And it's crazy to be where we've seen so many different prices, so many
Mhm.
what you originally sold your wild card for, then you got it back, and then you sold it again, and then you got it back. It's
Yep.
like that's not that was not possible 2 3 years ago. If you let it go, you might as well just close your eyes and keep it moving because you weren't going to see it for a minute.
It
But
did take me, so when I
yeah,
sold my first wild card, I sold it for raw for like 750,
yeah,
and then it took me like almost 2 years to get my
two
second
years,
one,
yeah,
and when it
yeah,
popped up. So, like, now because you know how people are selling and buying stuff, now they're popping up, so I've been happy to grab some. But I feel like I've got to pull it back and just start buying. Like, Richard,
hmm
man, I seen Richard's collection, that joint is growing. Like,
it's
he's
growing,
focused. I'm not as
it's
focused as you.
growing,
I do all these different things, so
yeah,
I'm all over the place, but, like, now I feel like I gotta pull it back and just
yep,
hoard, you know?
yep. That's and it's like the man. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, JL, I'm a big poker guy. I try not to. I actually played not to, like last week, but I don't play as much anymore. Just because
Yeah,
I do so many different things. But yeah, I'm a big poker. I had a whole poker business at one point, and
yeah.
you know, I'll show it to you guys sometime.
But that's also like to what Dylan just said about wildcard. That happened to me. So when USPS lost my BK,
Hmm.
I exited out of my head. I did, you know, I
Yeah, I
told
remember
you
you saying this.
when it
Like,
happened. Yeah, I'm like it's one or two. It's either I'm gonna get because if y'all don't know, they lost my Lux Crystal Shard and they lost my BK Hollow. Both I pulled the BK Hollow on my first NOI packs, right? I told Dylan, I was like, it's one or the other. It's either I'm gonna get Lux back or I'm gonna get BK, and it's gonna be Lux. So I chased Lux, and then BK. I'm like, I'm gonna just have to wait for the right opportunity, just because of uh, I, I love the hollow, but I was glad that I pulled the hollow because I love crystal shards more. So it's one of those things where I do want one back, but it just has to be in the right timing.
I want to go back to next question. I wanted to talk about this, and then we got sidetracked
Yeah,
with like
yeah,
poker. Um, he said, let's talk about what hypothetically would it take for it to get big. Here's the crazy thing. I don't think it's going to take much.
hmm,
So people are reaching out to Fortnite as advertisement.
yeah,
This is a Fortnite product. So if they wanted to, one like little thing on their game that gets millions of players who love the game it would be instant.
yep,
If they did a feature in game, it would be instant.
hmm,
So really, it could be next season.
hmm,
It could be in a year. They could be like, all right, we need some content. Oh, let's do a whole challenge about cards, and then we'll do a rollout. Like, it could
hmm,
be anything. That's all
yeah,
it would take is them to put it on their platform. They
yeah,
literally have 2 million players playing at once. Like if you log
yeah,
in right now, there's probably 2 million players on right now playing the game.
yeah,
So
and
it wouldn't take much. And the other thing I was thinking is, so what it really is going to take for like the demographic is for like to get past this whole Fortnite's lane, only kids play it, like this, the way that people think right
hmm,
now.
hmm.
When let's say like McDonald's, what is McDonald's doing right now? Does anybody know? They
What
just
that
put,
collaboration?
well, just right now, I got Happy Meals for my kids today,
Hmm,
Pokemon cards in there.
hmm. For the second time, they did that. What, 2 years ago? Last year? I
But
can't remember what year it
but
was.
this one isn't like that one. This one's for Halloween. I think it's the second time this year they've done it.
Hmm.
There's so many ways they could do this that could blow up. It wouldn't take much. It's just like you don't want to wait. You don't want to wait till that happens.
So, me and Dylan was that last week. I think we were talking after we got off. We usually do that most of the time. Uh, we were talking about how okay, if you think of it this way, right? If a new set comes out, it's more than likely based off of the options. It's more than likely going to be mass produced. Could you agree on that? Like just based off of the options we have, unless something a unicorn comes and it's as scarce as Series One, Series Two, Series Three, and
Are you talking about the
Reloaded.
breakdown?
Yeah, yeah. Just the
Are you talking about like how many packs? Are you talking about like the breakdowns inside the sets?
no. I think
Because like if you look at
I
did you
yeah.
see the Funko Pop cards?
That's Upper Deck. That's who I hope. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know it's Upper Deck. I bought some.
Yeah,
They're trash. No
yeah,
offense to people who collect them.
yeah.
I think it's dumb to buy a collectible of a IP. But regardless, I bought them.
Oxymoron.
Yeah, and it's like, what are we doing here? But
Yeah,
so it's kind of like overshields, like buying shields for your protectors. It's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
we're,
yeah.
we're part of the problem over here. But
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is like if you look at the pack of the back of the pack, it has breakdowns, and like
Hmm.
some of them are like ones
Yeah,
of ones and stuff like that.
yeah.
So it may be mass produced, but hopefully it still has like that rarity to
Right.
it.
So to your point and to your question, yeah, like if because so in that case, right, and let's say it was breakdowns where it was numbered or hard numbered and stuff like that, the base cards may be through the roof, things like that, right?
Hmm.
But I was more so talking about, I think the numbers that we seen or that we know of, the fairy number, because we don't know hard numbers that we seen of how much product was produced by Panini, whatever that number is, I believe that it will be triple, probably more
Okay,
than
yeah.
likely, right? That's
Well,
kind of what I'm
we
getting at.
already know that they kind
Yeah,
of tripled it for Series 3.
right,
So are you
right.
thinking it's going to?
Triple from series 3, yeah.
But here's the thing. I think it depends on who buys Panini, if someone does. And here's
Well,
why.
okay.
Here's
Okay,
why.
go ahead.
It will be a new product for whoever gets them,
Mhm.
and they're going to want to test it unless they have the sales data that they got from Panini. So
Right.
Panini knew for when they had Series 1, they were a little on the fence, right?
Yeah.
They didn't print that much product. Once
Mhm.
they got the Series 2, they knew it was going to sell out, so they printed a heck of a lot more. Now,
Yeah.
whoever gets it next, well, unless it's Epic Games that does it, right?
Yeah.
They may be on the fence too. It's like, are people going to buy this? So I don't
Mhm.
know. But if they buy Panini or if they get that sales data, then I guarantee you they're going to probably print out the roof because they have the sales data. They know people
Right.
buy this. They have proof.
Right. And that's a great point. And I think that that's going to be the interesting factor because whatever the case is, however this spins, the rarity and scarcity already of these first four sets and plus the stickers, right? What is going to go to if a new that's the beautiful thing about what we're doing right now. It's a win-win. If nothing comes out, it stays scarce and collectible, nothing changes. If something do come out, it's probably going to be produced at least double of what's already
And it won't
happening,
be the first ones.
and it won't be the first ones. And more than likely, I think somebody said this before, they're probably going to reuse some of the skins. More than, why wouldn't you? I mean, are you just not going to put a BK? Are you just not going to put an
They're
aura? Are
going to
you?
have to
Yeah,
reuse. They're going to have to use
yeah,
skins that are like super popular.
right,
Um,
right.
Also, I'm going to go on a limb and say they're not going to look as nice
I'll go on that limb too.
because I
We're
know
on there
people hate on
together.
Panini, but the way they did the cards was
Knocked
like
it out the park.
it was like perfect in my
Perfect.
opinion.
Mhm.
So I don't know if they're going to be able to
And
replicate that.
this is the thing, and this wasn't even intentional. We know it's just based off of what was available for Brazil and what was available for Italy. But they gave a story. They gave a story unintentionally. The whole conversation of Italy, USA, and Brazil, but also the
That's because
shard was different.
there
Yeah,
was no information. There's no
yeah,
advertising. We
yeah,
had to figure out on our own.
yeah.
Here's Fortnite cards.
Yep.
Oh, by the
And then,
way, here's some Italy ones. Oh,
yeah.
by the way, here's Reloaded. Here's a guy who's making no sound showing you
Yep.
Reloaded cards. I was
Yep.
like, where is this stuff coming from?
Is I think they got a bad rap, which is justifiable for what they did as a whole, right? If you look at some of the practices Panini had in sports, it was shady, it was jaded. What they did specifically for Fortnite, I don't. It's some things that I wish they would have done, but overall, I think they did pretty well. Um, I'm
This
interested to
is
see who take the realm next.
interesting. Um, hmm. I don't know. What Epic Games probably get is probably not like units sold and stuff like that. Epic Games probably got like if it was like a license deal, they probably got X% of sales or profit. And
Mhm.
so it might be like this is sales price, blah 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 blah, and they get that. So I don't know if that's enough information for the next person to know how many they've made and that kind of stuff. But
Yeah,
possible. It's possible they have all the sales data. That's true.
yeah.
I'm not sure how that works,
No,
but
that's
that'd be
definitely
interesting.
interesting. That is interesting. I think.
But
I think that
I don't think we want it to be like over, or
no,
do we?
but
Actually,
there you go.
I
That's what I was.
disagree.
Yeah,
I disagree.
yeah.
I want it to be no. Listen, guys, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep our collections. We're gonna buy it. Blah blah. Not investment advice. And then they're gonna release these sets, and they're gonna overproduce them so they're cheap. But kids and teens and adults actually buy them and like them, get them. But the rare stuff we've got.
Yeah.
But this is enough to blow the market up and let people collect, and then leave the high end stuff to more prices.
What
I mean, that's
what
how it should
I'm
work.
we
I
already
won't be
have an
mad.
we already have an example of it. Look at series 3 compared to series 1 and series 2. You
Mhm.
know, Midas is already at, don't quote me, I think Midas is already at 150 cracked ice graded. I think it's at 150 and maybe like 40. I think it's like 40 PSA 10s or something like that, maybe a little less. I can't remember exactly. But the availability, the cards that's in Series 3 is a perfect for kids to consistently break and collect. And even people that's just entering in and don't want to spend a lot of money, Series 3 is perfect. Half of Series 2 is perfect. Is a great spot for the hobby to be in right now with nothing else coming out. And then Series 1 kind of has that chase that I think everybody that's been in for a while or that has the funds to do is kind of doing.
No one can chase Renegade Raider until I get another 10. Warfire, what are you doing? Don't blow it up yet.
Yeah. So
He said that a
uh,
streamer is chasing Renegade Raider on stream who gets on with Cypher PK.
yeah. Warfighter, I didn't bring this up because Dylan knows this as well. I'm doing a video around something like this. So I didn't want to I wanted to
It's
kind of
okay. This
let
is
that.
our crew. This is our
Yeah, this
crew
are
here.
so
If they're here
yeah.
for an hour and 51 minutes
Yeah,
hearing
yeah,
this,
yeah.
we're good. We're
I
good.
went to, but yeah, Warfighter, I did see that, and I seen that you were commenting, that you were talking about this as well. I think in the Facebook group, but this is a lot of, and I know you know this already. This is a lot of where my early perspective came in of how people view the nostalgia of the skins that they played with, right, and how people already collect the skins in game. It's a effortless transition once they understand it, and it's just about people not knowing it yet. Whoa, is it really? I didn't know that.
Which,
It's
like we
still
said
low, but
before,
yeah, it's
compared
still
to the fact that we're mad about this, I mean, we're not mad, but the fact that we think
yeah.
that's a lot is crazy.
That's I. I'm not so like, and like Dylan is saying, I'm not saying it as in it's a bad thing. I'm very surprised that probably before the year is out, it's gonna crack 100. And it's,
Yeah.
as well. I know at least 3 to 4 collectors that haven't sent in, and they have well over 7
Hmm.
each. So it's just showing that, and this is not a bad thing. This is great for the hobby, if
So,
you ask
are we
me.
estimating 500
Yeah,
Series 3 shards?
yeah, it's definitely not 300. It's definitely going to
Definitely
pass
not
that.
300.
It's so I would say 500. Like, you're not going to be approaching 147 already, and it only be 300. It's definitely got to be over that. I
Yeah.
You
Well,
said you
sales
think
has
it's
also gone down, Dill, and we still
yeah.
got product out there. So I feel like double. I don't like what is series. Are people still grading series two?
I think probably a lot slower than Series 3 and Series 1, which
Seven
is
thousand
crazy.
one hundred and sixty. Remember that?
Black Ash, I don't think so. Do you? Do you think so? Do
No,
Black Ash said, I don't think so.
no, because all right, we still have product out there for series one. We still have product out there for series two,
Yeah,
and was series two exclusive to Target as well? I can't remember.
can't
Series
remember.
one was exclusive to Target, and we still have that out there. Series three was everywhere: Walmart, Target, all these other random shops. So no, I don't think we've ripped most of them. Um, there's more cards graded with Series three than Series two.
Which is
My opinion is
insane.
insane.
That's insane, bro. That's
Why?
it.
Like, can someone like what's all right? Let's talk about the logic behind this. Um, I was a hater of Series two for a long time,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but compared to Series three, like the cards look better,
Yeah.
and it's grown on me over time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Aura is still at 16 tens. Who's the other one? Ice
Wait,
King
who's that 1610s? Or yeah.
or Ice King is at 16 tens, 49 graded.
Mm-hmm.
I think Aura is only at 38 graded. Who else would? Oh, you know who I want to see? Ice Queen.
Uh Butcher, we actually talk about this fairly often, probably more off, honestly, offline. But Dylan, we said about what we said is kind of, we know that it may be more Series 2 cracked ice, but it's kind of on par to what we feel Series 1 is. I don't think it's too far
I
off
I,
from.
I think I think I don't think that they like increased it, to be honest.
So Dylan don't think they increased it. I think it may be I would
If
go on
they
the limb and
did,
say
like maybe
50 to
twenty
100.
percent,
Yeah,
I don't
50,
know.
yeah, yeah. It's not too much. It's not too much in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't think they got Walmart either. Yeah, I thought it was just Target. And if it's just Target, I doubt that they increased it because it actually took them a while to sell out.
Hmm.
So it took them a while to sell of the first set, right? Because no
Yeah.
one knew about it. They didn't advertise it. So
Yeah.
I doubt that they bumped it up for Series 2,
Yeah.
right? Like they're just happy they sold it. But hey, let's do it again. I don't think they bumped it up.
No, all good. No, all good. But it's just something. The reason why I said that is just something we do think about fairly often as well. That difference between Series 1 and Series 2, and the reason why is because there's a lot of skins in Series 2 that were slow growth. Um, like Dylan said, he wasn't a big fan of it. I wasn't a big fan of Series 2 skins for a while as
Like I
well.
mean, as a
It's
whole,
yeah.
because Series 1 knocked it out of the park, right? And then
Yep.
Series 2 came out, and it's like I liked Aura, I liked Hush,
Yeah.
I liked Rocks,
Yep.
I liked Lynx.
Mm-hmm.
See, now it's starting to get harder. Then I realized I like Zadie, but that took me a
Yep.
while.
Yeah.
Chaos Agent.
My list, my list
I
was I
mean,
don't even know if my list was that long. I think mine's was Aura, Singularity, Zadie, Crystal, Ruby, Lynx. Okay, it was pretty good.
it was like
Lynx, and then I
6.
think
Okay, but then
yeah,
like Series 1 was like 20. Like
Series
Series
One was
1, I was
like
like, I'd be happy to get Color Team Leader. I want Skull Ranger, Skull Trooper, Black Knight. I mean, freaking Red Knight, Royal Knight, Blue Squire. I was like, it was nostalgic
sit.
as hell.
Listen, man, I
But
listen.
real quick, but Series 2 over time, because when it came out, there's years ago, guys.
Yeah.
But over time, it's like we started following the story more. It's like, oh shit, okay. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that one's getting popular. And we
Mm-hmm.
realized how many people were playing with these skins. It's like, yeah,
Yep.
Aura is my favorite and was super popular. But hey, let's not forget about Zadie.
Yep.
Hey, let's not forget about, like you said, Crystal. Let's
Mm-hmm.
not forget about all these other ones. And that list started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but people are still sleeping on it.
Yeah.
So
Yep. And it's so like this was funny. But just that he had a massively hard time finishing his Series 2 master set. There was
that
about 20
that's
skins that never popped up.
that's
So
not a lie.
no, it's not
Like
because
this is freaking weird.
yeah,
All right,
it's
so yeah, go ahead.
go
Sorry.
no go ahead, go.
No, this
I
is
got
weird.
you.
This blows me because there's skins that never came on eBay for Series 2. At
Mm-hmm.
least for Series 1. I've been here the whole time. Series 1, at least they came.
Mm-hmm.
Series 2, they do not come. They do
They
not
don't
pop
come up.
up.
Mm-mm.
Actually, there's a couple in Series 1 too. I'm not gonna say who because I'm chasing her, but
Yeah,
or him, sure.
yeah,
But Series 2, it's like there's so many that do not pop up. And when they do, they
yeah.
sell like you've been chasing Ruby. Did you ever get your Ruby?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I had one and then I sold it.
Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
Ruby popped up the other day and sold.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
It's
haven't
like
yeah.
it's a couple other ones. It's they don't pop up, and it's
Yeah.
like I don't know.
That's and it's another thing to Dylan's point. So I told you, yeah, my father collects casually, right? But Series 2 was his set. That's his set that he collects, and he completed the Series 2 Optichrome set, right? And so seeing him complete that, that's why I'm so big on Optichromes. I don't do set collecting like that, but when I seen the cards that wasn't popping up, I'm like, hold up, this is crazy. And then I'm looking at cracked dice. I'm like, I don't see these cards pick up for cracked dice either. They don't pop up at all. So I'm like,
Richard.
what's I'm like I'm like,
All right, all
what
right,
is going on, man? It's crazy. But like Black Ash said, nobody's ripping Series 2.
all right. If anybody finds a Fable, I'm looking for one. I'm not saying it's the next Renegade Raiders. Just I like that skin. Season 6 was my favorite. Um, and I wear her sometimes, so I am looking for Fable. She never pops up, guys. I don't
Yeah.
know why.
It's it's some and then we're not even talk like if we want to talk in context, Series 2 has a major edge problem. Like the edges on Series 2 is just crazy. Like, Series 1 was like corners.
hmm
Series 2 is heavy edges, and then
Now,
the Optichrome is
for those for
scratchy.
those who don't know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
oh, I almost ended my stream. Um, Let me look here. When he's saying edges, guys, I'm sure most of y'all do, but he's talking about the top here or the
Hmm.
sides here,
Yep.
and like they get frayed. Now, Series 3
Yep.
has that problem too. Um, I think that's what's wrong with. I think that's what dinked a lot of these is the back edges.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, I don't
It's
know.
yeah, it's and then on the Optichrome side, it's indentations like crazy indentations on the Optichromes, and it's also scratches on the surface. So I told you I flirted with the idea of doing an Optichrome PSA 10, and you thinking through possibly doing that. I'm like, okay, even if I'm opening these packs down the road from the gravity feeds, I'm like, if I pull them, it's gonna be a tough feat, and I don't know how much I want to commit to that, but it's something that I do eventually want to do. If I would have to fully commit to that, and I don't know if I'm ready to do that. It's a lot that I still have to get, but I love Optichromes a lot, man, especially series two.
So we've been talking about completing sets, and let me see if I can figure out how to do this view. All right, we've been talking about completing sets, and I know I've been being hounded to actually update the reloaded checklist with pictures. I am working on it, guys. It is not easy. It's a lot of work. But I want to show you guys how amazing this set looks if you look at it online. So I'm going to show you guys what I have so far here. If
Look
you
at
just
this set.
scroll through this set online, it
Yeah.
actually is pretty dope. I'm not going to lie. So I don't have all of them yet, but most of them here. Um, so I'm working to get this up online so people can see it. But I haven't been paying attention to these too much. But seeing these on here like this in a row like this
Mm-hmm.
makes me want to complete the set. At least
Yeah.
this set here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just because on screen, but to
No,
me
look. Yeah.
it looks fired for some reason. So I might be trying to like a PSA 10 set of Reloaded would be kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who would want it, but like it might be fun to chase if you had $1 million. Um, so I'm working on this list, but I just want to show you guys how dope it looks.
No, but I have a high respect for set collectors, like a high respect, because it's such a commitment, and you have to ignore so much that's going on. Like, you have to turn down so many different things because you have to have like a focus and like an order you have to do things. And man, I respect like actual set collectors. I'm a set collector, but I like curated. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I curate my own, but like actual set collectors, that's different, man. I couldn't do it.
yeah, it's something crazy. I don't know. I'll get this list up on Reloaded as soon as I can. We're working through it. Besides that, it's 12 o'clock. Do you guys
Yeah.
got any other last comments before we hop off? Um, I'll give you guys a minute.
Please like and subscribe if y'all haven't already, y'all. We
Yeah,
appreciate
at
that.
least subscribe. Or
Yeah.
tell your
Yeah.
friends to subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,000.
Yeah.
So we're trying to grow. We're not going anywhere. We're
No.
not like Donald Mustard. We're not retiring. We're here for the long run. So if you guys could subscribe, it means a lot. Um,
Nick Fox, that is a good point.
he said all the money in the world couldn't get a PSA 10 set Reloaded. That's what makes it interesting. Challenge
Yep.
accepted. Not really. I can't do that because I'd get to like a skin I don't care about.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I really want to do this? I was like, no. Yeah, I bet, Brian.
Right, I
You guys
bet.
are strong.
I
You guys are
bet.
strong.
It's different.
All right, guys. We appreciate you. We'll be back next week. So please, like I said, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Have a good one, y'all.